Last night, a spectacular California evening as the Breakers hosted the defending champion Lasers, and it came down to the final set of play. Enrique Lopez Perez eking out a win, 19-18. But tonight is a new day, and the Breakers tonight host the Philadelphia Freedoms. Welcome inside the Palisades Tennis Club, everyone. I'm Leif Shiras alongside Jeff Chisaver as we get ready for the Breakers hosting the Freedoms, and a tough loss last night for the Breakers. So close to pulling off the win, unable to get it done. Stevie Johnson will be in the lineup again, but they've added Jeanie Bouchard, the Canadian, a former world number 5 and a Wimbledon finalist. They mean business, but they're up against the Freedoms tonight.
Leif, I got to admit, I'm still in major shock from the match last night. The way in which the Breakers lost, up 5 games halfway through the 4th set. The good news with World Team Tennis is less than 24 hours later, you got another match. The bad news is the Philadelphia Freedoms are in town.
That's right. The Freedoms lost their season opener to the Lasers. They've won 7 in a row. They've knocked down the first spot. Springfield in 2nd place. The Breakers must win tonight at 2-3.
As you all know, the top 4 will make the playoffs, so it is a tough loss they took. But hey, you're 1 game under 500. You get a win here, and you're even in the loss column with the Empire, so they're still in it. Yeah,
the Washington Castle, they're 6 times King Trophy winners. They were 0-5. They got their first win last night. Mark Wine, the owner, said, well, the last time I was 0-5, we won the title. So never discount a strong franchise like the Castles, even at 1-5.
If the Freedoms can win 7 games in a row, why can't the Castles? They're right there, too. Only 2 or 3 back in the loss column. Don't count them out just yet.
Yeah, we are getting ready for first ball here tonight. You see Jeanie Bouchard on the bench, one of the most popular tennis players in the world. She'll be in the lineup for the Breakers tonight. Captain Rick Leach, he's been a staple. In fact, coached them to their last championship win.
Yeah, one interesting thing about tonight, you'll see 6 players on the bench. The Freedoms only actually have 4. So full roster for the Breakers tonight. You might see a substitution later, who knows?
Yeah, the Freedoms are really counting on the nuts and bolts of their lineup. A couple of marquee players, you could say, for the Breakers. So this is what is coming up. The Freedoms at 7-1 against the Orange County Breakers 2-3. A big night of tennis in Southern California.
Geico has over 75 years of savings and service.
Whoa.
Travis and AT made it.
It's amazing.
Geico
Oh, is that Travis's app? It's pretty cool, isn't it?
There's 2 of them. They're multiplying.
No, guys, it's me. See? No, I'm real. I'm real.
He thinks he's real.
Geico, over 75 years of savings and service.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna be a pro tennis player.
I thought you were going to get things done today.
I did. I had a consultation with my doctor this morning, and I set up a meeting with my lawyer about my Wimbledon application.
How could you afford a lawyer?
It's included with my phone. My Rocket IO Pro 3D comes with legal services, 24/7 doctor, glasses free 3D, and it's less than $300.
You're saving some money. Now you can start paying rent.
Wait, what?
Get the Rocket IO Pro 3D for less than $300. Rocket Smarter Phones.
How do you rock the world of tennis? Burn the rule book. Change the game. Make it faster. No, way faster. Pair up the sexes. Call in the coaches. Fist bump this badass. Playing teams. And don't forget the pros. Lots of pros. This is the Breakers. This is WTT, July 2019.
Walmo Sport.
World Team Tennis is brought to you by Wilson. Get the best gear in the game. By DecoTurf, the official tennis court surface of World Team Tennis. And by Body Armor, the more natural and better hydration sports drink. Welcome once again, everyone, to the Palisades Tennis Club. Beautiful spot here in Newport Beach, California. So excited about the matchup tonight. The best team in the league is in the stadium. Here's a look at the rules, a little bit different from your regular tennis match at the All England Club. No ad scoring, every game counts, substitutions are allowed, that's the coach's prerogative. And remember, lets are in play, so you got to be very alert when the ball hits the net. Jeff, lots going on here, coach is very involved.
Yes, such a fast and frenetic pace. Love the timeouts on court, by the way. You get 2 a set, very strategic with those. Cumulative game scoring, you can theoretically, you can lose 4 of the 5 sets by 4 and win 1 match by 4, and you can you can still win the match.
That's right. You still have a chance to get into extended play and maybe a super tiebreaker. We'll certainly get into that as we get into this one tonight. We're expecting a good one. Now, Coach Rick Leach of the Orange County Breaker, he sets the order of play. That's the advantage of playing at home. Mixed doubles, women's doubles, men's singles, women's singles, and men's doubles. Stevie Johnson in the men's singles. Jeanie Bouchard featuring against Taylor Townsend in the women's singles. We've got some nice matchups tonight.
Definitely. And Rick Leach last night, same thing. His first 2 teams was mixed doubles and women's doubles. They looked great at the start. They won 5-2 against Rozier and Spears, so he's feeling good with that mixed team. Hopefully they can get another big win and get out to an early lead.
And just take a quick look at the men's doubles. Adrian Manarino, a very talented Frenchman, will play alongside Reese Martin. Reese Martin was a Roland Garros doubles finalist, and Adrian Manarino is a French Davis Cup singles player. So they got a very strong lineup tonight. Here's Raquel Attal, who's going to be playing doubles and mixed. She's a wonderful addition to this team. Again, they're so strong up and down the lineup.
It's important to know, like I said before, they really just have 4 players each night. 3 of them are there every night. It's Atao, it's Martin, and these, I mean, their doubles is amazing. Rachel Atao, Kel Atao, I should say, Cal Berkeley alum. You know, she's one of my favorites, 3-time All-American. She's so solid up there. You're going to love to watch her play.
Yeah, so just to be totally above board, we're looking at a Cale Bear that I'm sitting alongside. Jeff Chisholm played his college tennis at Cal, so he's got a soft spot in his heart for Raquel, who is a great doubles player. But Fabrice Martin has led this team in a lot of ways. He's great in mixed doubles alongside Taylor Townsend, and Taylor Townsend has been strong. And I don't want to hype up the Freedoms too much, but they are the best team in the league right now.
Well, you already talked about Taylor, and we're going to talk about it later when she plays singles. She went 13-0 last season in singles. She was the female MVP of the league. She's got a matchup with Jeanie. We're excited about that. That is coming up later, but we're talking about Fabrice Martin. We saw some serves last night get into the mid-120s. Fabrice Martin, possibly the biggest serve in the league. Obviously, Isner plays a night or 2 here, but he's playing every night, and you'll see some of his serves get up in the mid-high 130s. He can certainly crack them.
Yeah, speaking of great servers, John Isner played for the New York Empire. Nick Kyrgios, we talked about the Castles. He's going to be suiting it up for the DC side. So a lot of big servers. Remember, in this abbreviated format, 5-game sets, 9-point tiebreaker at 4 games all. The serve, the return, very critical.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the timing of some of these sets, when you kind of look at the box score later, some of these sets are done in 11 or 12 minutes. I love that fast pace of play. That's what the fans come out here to see. Not many stoppages in action. We talk about the lets in play, and they change over every 4 games, not every 2. So it's just, it's action that's just easily digested. And, you know, that's why they get so involved and they love it. So here we go. We're getting started with mixed doubles. You know what? I love starting with doubles, too, because it's the best way to kind of get the intensity and focus going. You kind of just build off the, you build off the excitement of your partner, and that kind of, that's just a good way to start the match. Instead of singles, kind of lags a little bit. This is going to be fast-paced, a lot of volley wars, and be a great match.
I love that. The volley wars, when all 4 players are up at the net. We had a few good ones over the course of last night, actually throughout this entire season. All right, here's Luke Bambridge, a man who we forgot to mention, played brilliantly last night in the loss for the Breakers. Nice communication. You could hear Bambridge calling off Andrea Klepac out of Slovenia. Klepac, a former league MVP. She knows her way around a doubles court.
Definitely.
Quarterfinals of 3 of the 4 majors in women's doubles.
One thing I love about Atawo's doubles game, look at her. She creeps up. She's going inside the baseline. She likes to take it early, and sometimes she'll follow up the return to the net. Here she.
15 all.
Yeah, forehand return pressure. Yeah, she's a former top 10er in doubles. She reached number 10. Very exclusive territory in the world ranks. 3-time All-American for the Cal Bears. Lives in San Jose. Yeah, Martin is a big, strong player, and you saw that in the return.
That's right. He's 6'6", maybe even 6'7", huge wingspan. We'll see that huge wingspan when he is at net and Raquel is serving, but yeah, he likes to bang him when he hits the return.
Well, if you're wondering what the line calls there, Raquel thought it might have been a little long. We have Hawkeye Live. We've got 12 cameras calling all the lines, and we have computer-generated out calls. So the out calls you hear later, well, that's all computer-generated, and 6 cameras working on the foot faults. Like that.
Yeah.
Good, clear call.
So the Freedom just lost that point, but those quick hands from Atawo, right? If you just see that point right there, you already know she's a double specialist because, I mean, when the ball goes an inch over the net, she's not running away. She's not turning around. She's literally looking her right in the eye and say, come at me. She got it back. Obviously, they lost a point, but quick hands, great doubles player.
Yeah, that's always a tricky serve to deal with. High bouncing, spinning serve from Bambridge, and the breakers off to a 1-love start. And Bambridge, we've been impressed with his energy, Jeff. This guy comes out and really puts it out there. He's a great player for team tennis because of how excited he gets when he plays well, keeps his chin up when things aren't going well, and you like to have that in a teammate.
I totally understand why Leach wants to go with him first, just because of the energy. Oof. Look at him. A little gallop, a little sidestep. He's pumped. And we should say Reese Martin, we forgot to note. He was the 2016 World Team Tennis Male Rookie of the Year. 4th straight season playing for the Freedoms.
Yeah, Martin is a Frenchman who really spends most of his time in Florida. You know, played at the IMG Academy, grew up a bit as a young player in Bradenton. So he's, like a lot of French guys, they have sort of bases in Florida, and he's one of them.
This is Bambridge all over the place right now. He's taking over, best player on the court. These sets happen so quickly. You get a quick break here. Next thing you know, break and hold, you're down 3-0. It's happening quick. Oh, you know, we forgot to note, Martin and Atawo played together in Wimbledon as a mixed doubles team. Tough draw. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, Wimbledon together. Mixed doubles, you don't get a lot of opportunities to play mixed doubles, only at the Grand Slams. We used to see it at the Hopman Cup, no longer. But I talked about their draw. They went against a pretty good team. I think their names are Andy Murray and Serena Williams.
I've heard of those.
You heard of them?
Yeah, I've heard of them. That's a good team.
They actually had some looks in that match, but they did not win.
Moved up quickly to that dropping ball. So the Freedoms trying to get their first game on the board.
In the past, when I've watched them, they've gone a lot to the I formation. They haven't yet. Oh, and right when I say that, here they come.
towel is going to go either to the right or left. And that's something discussed. Other teams will use signals. There's a signal.
Yep.
First
He's
serve.
serving body. Raquel is going to the right.
Yeah, nice work by Klepacz, anticipating that play up the line. And remember, no ad scoring, so a deciding point here in the second game of the evening.
Love it. You don't get caught in 4 deuces here at World Team Tennis. The match keeps going, and this is obviously, you know, it's not needed to say it, but this is an important stat, deciding points. We'll sure be keeping track of who gets the majority of these.
That's why we bring you in, Jeff, because you're the expert.
Hey, deciding points are crucial. That's breaking news. Oh, baby.
Ooh.
Pretty timely ace right there. That was 122. I told you sometimes it gets into the 130s. We haven't seen it yet, but right there, clutch ace ties it up at 1. We're on serve, and now this is where the strategy gets way different. Now the female is serving, so you're going to see, you know, sometimes they're going to stay back. You're going to see the net man a lot more active because they're just really trying to pick off any ball that's possible. It's just a little bit different with this format, with the female serving.
Klepacz, you mentioned a former MVP. Great results on the WTA as a player. 6 career titles in doubles. Bambridge able to finish.
It's kind of a breakout season for Bambridge a year ago, 2018, winning 2 ATP double titles. Got into the top 100 for the first time. Currently ranked number 54 in doubles. Certainly knows what he's doing. He's such an athlete at the net. Check him out. That's deadly.
Oh, that is money.
That is smooth.
Take that one to the bank.
We talk a lot about the good doubles players have their nose on the net, but if you want to get your opponent off the net, that's what you do. Silky smooth lob.
I guess if you're going to the bank in Slovenia, it's euros, right? It wouldn't be dollars, it'd be euros.
My bad.
I mean, I don't know if that was me or you. Oh, how good is that?
Point of the day. I mean, I keep saying it. Can't say it enough. The hands from Matawo. She's so comfortable up there. I'm telling you, sometimes you think in doubles you want to go right at him, go at the feet, but when your hands are that good, sometimes you want to go around him. You know what I mean? You want to give her that chance to get it back, because she will.
Double fault.
Good point to do it on, 40-15. Still got 2 more game points.
Yeah, communication in doubles, always very important. And there's Bambridge and Klepacz deciding, okay, where are we going to go with this first serve? And what's Bambridge's plan up at the net? Is he going to pinch the middle?
I was just going to say, and I promise, this is not in hindsight, I was just going to say, you got to find her backhand. Forehand return is stronger on Matawo. She can do a lot with it. Here we go. Second deciding point. If you didn't know, female has to serve for the female, male to the male. It's a World Team Tennis rule. What do you think? They got to be going backhand. You cannot go back to her forehand right here. That would be silly in my opinion. Got to go out wide.
That's what they do, and Bambridge on top of the net.
Bambridge. Was that an alley? Why is that no matter what country you're from, tennis players tend to love to say alley? He's not French. I don't know. That's just the guy. Would you be more of a Vamos guy or an alley?
Well, he's across the channel. You know, he's not continental, but he is across the channel.
That's right. He's close enough.
He's from Nottingham.
All right, we'll let that one slide.
He's a global citizen. He speaks many languages. You can say vamos, too.
Nice body serve.
We'll talk about a few of the intangibles here tonight. Talked to Rick Leach. He said this DecoTurf surface is fairly fast. He said medium to fast. And temperatures are pretty high. It's hotter than it was yesterday.
Yeah, I got to look at that mascot. He's got to be boiling in there.
Flutter Frog.
That was our first look at their eye formation.
So you're saying that's not a frog? I thought it was a frog.
I'm just saying he's not
you're
enjoying
telling me
the
there's
heat
no
wave.
Santa Claus too now. I mean, what? Gosh, you're ruining it for me.
Just say he's not enjoying the heat wave.
It's going to be hot at that.
Should cool down soon.
Yeah, a lot of good first serves. Can really make your job as a team, serving team, a little easier, right?
That's huge. Here we go, eye formation again. Check out the wingspan. I mean, just him standing up, he's going to cover so much court. Get in the head of Bambridge. Great return. I've noticed so far, both Martin and Itaú have been serving out wide to Klepich. I think they're afraid of her backhand return. Her backhand down the line, the return is great. Let's see where they go this time. Well, maybe that's why they avoid the backhand.
Yeah, and you can see when she did come up to that forehand, she has a pretty big take back on the forehand, so she needs a little more time to make that unfold.
That's a great point, yeah.
But a good combination, 40-30. I was looking pretty comfortable at 40 love, not so much so here at 40-30.
Bambridge last time hit a great backhand return down the line. They get out of the I formation. He's serving wide of the backhand again, and Martin is going. Watch him in net. He is going. Here he goes.
Yeah, the breakers in a nice move. In terms of tactics, not a bad move to have him go because Ottawa will get over there and play her forehand.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a
right.
tactic.
That is the side to go on. You're absolutely right. Then she's got the forehand. Up 40 love, now a deciding point. Is this already the third deciding point, or am I blowing that?
Yep.
No, it is. Oh my gosh.
Third deciding point.
That's why we love World Team Tennis. So many pressure moments. Look out for the Klepich backhand down the line.
What a strike.
Wow. Wow.
Boy, that is a big game for the Freedoms. We had 3 deciding points in the evening's opening 4 games. If that's any indication, we're in for a good one tonight.
Almost Sport.
You got this. You got this. You got this. You got this.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots
and close shaves.
Of wins for the history books.
And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
Summer is heating up, boy, is it ever, and so is World Team Tennis. Be sure to visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and at World Team Tennis for exclusive content, highlights, news, behind-the-scene videos, and complete coverage of World Team Tennis 2019.
So we played 4 games so far, 4 service holds. They say the set does not start until someone breaks serve.
We mentioned Coach Rick Leach of the Orange County Breakers. Craig Carden is coaching the Freedoms tonight, 17th season as a coach. His 10th with Philadelphia. So we've got 2 excellent, experienced coaches. Craig Carden, formerly coached Martina Navratilova, Lindsay Davenport, Lisa Raymond. He's
Coco Vandeweghe recently.
Yeah, knows his way around the game.
Definitely.
Got a great tennis mind. Knew him as a player as well. Pretty strong player out of Texas. Here's Bambridge at 30-15.
You see a towel. You don't see that often. She's half volleying returns, but it's smart. When you're going against the male serve, that kick serve, you don't want to let it get too high. She takes it early. She wants to get to net. We were talking about Craig Carden. He has coached different teams to 5 WTT championships.
That's an amazing record he possesses. Of course, he had a few thoroughbreds working with Martina Navratilova in World Team Tennis. Oh, yeah. Heavy-duty serve out wide.
Usually, if you swing and a miss in tennis, you usually look down and you kind of make it seem like it took a bad bounce, some type of excuse.
Tennis players are good with defense mechanisms, right? If things don't go your way, we've got all those ready to go.
And that's the thing with Hawkeye Live. You got nothing to complain about anymore because you can't even challenge. Up. Let's see if they keep picking on the Klepich forehand return. You don't need to worry about direction when you hit it that hard, especially into the body. Great serve.
It's interesting, Martin's year this year. We mentioned the run to the Roland Garros finals, which, was alongside Jeremy Chardy, his French buddy. They had to win, just some brilliant victories. Cabal and Farrar in the semifinals, a team that ultimately won Wimbledon.
Serve.
They also beat Kubat and Mello, who a couple of years ago were the #1 team in the world. So Martin's been playing at a very high level this season. It's coming together for him. He's got a good partner in Jeremy Chardy. And he's brought along another Frenchman to play team tennis, Adrian Manarino.
That's
we'll
right.
see Manarino play tonight in the singles. Lots of talent in French tennis. And Martin is a part of it in the doubles court.
Huh. 125 on the gun. I think it's the highest one we've seen tonight. Just wait till the men's doubles. I'm telling you. I promise you a couple will get up in the 130s.
Yeah, not that it's going to take you long to warm up here in this very warm evening in Southern California. Around this time of the evening, it tends to cool off somewhat, but I think, like the rest of the country, we're getting a fair amount of heat in Southern California. Hope everyone's doing all right, is enjoying our coverage. Lots of heavy temperatures across the country.
That's kind of one of those, you almost have too much time to think about on that one. Try to go down the line. Highest part of the net. Oh,
that's number 2. We've seen a couple of those.
Last night, I remember she was putting the forehand lobs. This time, both with the two-hander. Great lob from both sides. That's what we're talking about. Raquel Ottawa loves to hug the net. She's returning. She's coming up. That's how you get her off. Now, next time she comes up, she's gonna be on her heels a little bit.
Ooh, gave up the line. Martin took it. Martin loves his off backhand return, but obviously he can pull it too.
Yeah.
And by pull it, I mean up the line.
It's probably the easier shot, actually. It's hard to take it late. Much easier to take it earlier in the one-hander as we got our first Geico timeout. I talked about it so much last night, but let's do it again, and I'm sorry if you're sick of it. But I love the timeouts. We were talking about before that sometimes you see in tennis, someone is serving for the match, and the opponent will call some bogus injury timeout where they're getting attended to some injury where some people feel like they're not actually injured, and they're doing it to ice the player, just like you would ice the kicker in the NFL. But this, under the rules, you can call a timeout whenever you want, and it's just strategic, and you can't frown upon it. It's just strategic, and you got to take it, and let's see who it helps. In this case, 3-all, 30-15. Big point.
Yeah, just looking at this set unfold, you just see two very solid teams taking care of their serves, doing everything right. Both teams playing well.
Yeah, don't test her. Don't test my Cal Bear.
Good hands at the net, and she found a winning volley inside the alley.
All right, 40-30, trying to avoid another deciding point. Another great lob, Leaf. Another great lob.
Yeah, it's the shots that has ruined a lot of great serve and volleyers' careers.
That's right. You got to adjust.
Yeah, I think Bjorn Borg was the first guy really to start using it, you know, as frequently as he did. You know, just to diffuse the attack of, say, a John McEnroe or that era of attacking player. Then it was Leighton Hewitt who had one of the greatest topspin lobs. We'll put Andrea Klepacz in the top 10 tonight. She's got it going on. Towell had a long career with Abigail Spears. Abigail Spears, who plays for the Springfield Lasers, and they won 14 titles together. Her last title was in 2018 in Stuttgart with Annalena Grunewald, who plays for the San Diego Aviators. So we've got some great doubles players this year in the league. Yeah, when Bambridge makes contact, it comes off his racket. It's got some steam.
He's got that blue Babby. That is the prototypical racket on tour that just gives you so much power, so much spin. Actually, sometimes it's tough to volley with that racket. Obviously, no issues. All right, 15-30. Serving down 3-4, 15-30. Here we go, getting the crowd into it. This is why you start with him. This is huge. This is huge. Set the tone, get a break here, and you're up 2 games going into the second set.
Yeah, there's a lesson in that. If she doesn't matter how fast or how hard you hit your serve, put it in a good spot. Good things can happen. 30 all.
Great serve into the body, forces the lob. Martin takes care of the rest. Atawo, 3-time Grand Slam semifinalist at a Grand Slam, twice at Wimbledon, also qualified for the WTA finals in 2014, 2015. That's big time right there.
That sure is. Game point freedoms.
Oh!
He tried to use a little body English, but that's the purvey of Bambridge. He's British. Martin is French. So it didn't work out that time. Deciding points.
How great are these deciding points? In regular tennis, we could still be 1-all with a 6 deuce. I like it. Just put the pressure on. Let's get it going. Who's going to come up big again? I formation.
Set point for the breakers.
Clutch serve. Martin clean up the mess. Here we go. We got a tiebreaker.
So 9-point tiebreak when you get to 4 games all. First team to 5 points.
That's right. They call it a 9-point tiebreaker because 9 points is the maximum amount of points it can go to, because at 4-all, like you said, they play a deciding point. Love that. And usually in regular tiebreakers of tennis, the serving goes 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. In this one, it'll go 2, 2, 2, 3. Hope that makes sense for all you at home.
I was an English major, so numbers.
It sounded like I was doing some Morse.
The tyranny of numbers. I think I understand it.
Oh, get there. Oh.
They get the point.
I love it when there's extra grunting going on. Nice. Way to take care of the serve. So if each team was to hold their serve, hold their own, what would happen is you would be down 2-4 with 3 points of serving. That's pretty tough. So if you can get one of those mini breaks, that means it would be 3-all, and then you'd serve the remaining 3 points. That sounds a lot better. Right now, though, breakers up 2-0. Martin with the cannon coming up. Come on, get one of the 130s, Fabrice.
Oh! Ooh, there is the mini break.
There it is.
That's 3-love. So the Freedom's in a bit of trouble as the home side has got the edge now.
I formation. Okay, that one said 120.
It's not a generous clock.
I don't know if that, I was gonna say, I don't know if this gun is correct, making me sound like an idiot here, promising you guys in the 130s.
Sound like one? Well, oh, sorry, I was just kidding, Jeff. Come on now. Hey, we're having a good time here. Hope you are at home as we'll change ends. The Freedoms and the Breakers going to figure out this 9-point tie break. You can see the Freedoms bench. There's Adrian Manarino, and he's thinking, what have I got myself into? This is his first season, his first taste of World Team Tennis.
That's right. Reese Martin was a huge reason of why Manarino came to the team, both, of course, compatriots, both from France. So they got to get a camera on Jeanie. Oh, well, you missed it. Jeanie was doing her first dance of the night.
Yeah, Jeanie Bouchard's in the house. She'll be a part of the women's singles and the women's doubles.
I love this. Get the crowd into it, scream, whatever. You think this goes at Wimbledon? Start playing rap music in between points at the All England Club?
They do that behind closed doors at Wimbledon. 3-1. Sets within reach.
Freedoms need to get one of these 2 points if they want a chance at this tiebreaker. Oof. Nice rip. I think Bambridge was caught covering the line. He kind of got caught leaning that way. split the both of them. Winner up the middle.
All right, so Klepacz gets one of her 2 service points, so that's put her in a good position. 4-2.
That's right. 3 set points. Because like we said, 4-all is the deciding point. So Raquel Atawo will serve 3 points if they can win them all 3, of course. You know, it's funny, you're down 4-2, and you're thinking, oh, I just got to win one of the next 3 points. Now it's 4-3, and now you're 1 point away from a deciding point. So just like that, another pressure-filled moment. Bambridge is thinking, I got to get my team this point. Where are they going with the serve? And then, just like that. Fans are really getting their money's worth with all these deciding points. I'm sweating up here. Actually, it's just really hot. Maybe that's why. But.
So deciding point number 5.
Geico timeout.
And a little time to evaluate what the plan is and what should the plan be for the breakers.
So we've been talking about it. So it'll be Atawo serving to Klepacz. The backhand is the stronger return, but typically when you do I formation, you want to serve up the tee. But I am feeling, let's see if they go I formation or not.
Gender to gender.
Here's all I will say. If they do serve tee, I think Martin should stay on his alley because Klepacz's backhand return down the line is deadly. So that's all I'll say. I don't want to predict anything else. All right, second serve. Serving tee. And he's staying on his alley. And there it is, baby.
Yep, good
there
call
it is.
And great execution by Klepacz. A superb set of mixed doubles to kick it off tonight. Both sides had chances to win it. A deciding point decided it. So the breakers, 5-4.
I won it.
I can't believe it.
That car brought his karaoke machine.
Nothing but a heartache.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
Tell me why I never you'd say.
Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin. No.
Uomo Sport.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna be a pro tennis player.
I thought you were going to get things done today.
I did. I had a consultation with my doctor this morning, and I set up a meeting with my lawyer about my Wimbledon application.
How could you afford a lawyer?
It's included with my phone. My Rocket IO Pro 3D comes with legal services, 24/7 doctor, glasses-free 3D, and it's less than $300.
You saving some money. Now you can start paying rent.
Wait, what?
Get the Rocket IO Pro 3D for less than $300. Rocket Smarter Phones.
How do you rock the world of tennis? Burn the rule book. Change the game. Make it faster. No, way faster. Pair up the sexes. Call in the coaches. Fist bump this badass. Playing teams. And don't forget the pros. Lots of pros. This is the Breakers. This is WTT, July 2019.
Visit the all-new WTT.com for live and on-demand matches, highlights, news, stats, behind-the-scenes videos, and complete coverage of World Team Tennis 2019. Great place to get all the information you need about the players, the teams, the league, the playoffs. Remember, the top 4 teams qualify for the championship series in Vegas.
Let's go. Vegas, baby.
Vegas. Let's be there. We'll see which of these 4 teams of the 8 will be a part of an opportunity to play for the King Trophy here in 2019. There are the coaches, Rick Leach on the left, Craig Carden, the Freedoms on the right. These guys know the game well. Exciting opening set. It was a mixed doubles won by the Breakers 5-4 in a 9-point tiebreak. And the matchups tonight look pretty close all the way down the board. I wouldn't be surprised to see more tiebreaks tonight.
That would be great. And this is going to be our first look at Jena Bouchard. You will notice that most people are in team uniform. You know, they got the white for the Breakers, they got the blue and white. Jeanie is in her Nike outfit. That is just a Nike thing. I think they're being a little bit of a stickler with what they're allowed to wear. I'm sure she wants to be a part of the team outfit, but she will be wearing her summer series. I saw that with some of the Ulysses Blanche on the Empire wearing his Nike outfit. And why am I still talking about outfits, Leaf? I don't even know where I'm going with that.
I think you're a fascinating man. That's all I know.
I'm like, Jeff, shut up on the outfits.
Taylor Townsend serving first. Oh, that time she can't make the topspin lob happen. Taylor Townsend, an attacking player. She volleys about as well as anyone in the women's game.
That's right. Very comfortable up there. Great feel for the ball, kind of a massaging the ball. You'll see.
Yeah, and that left-handed serve has movement. You know, it has pace, but it has that slide to it.
What is it about a lefty serve? It's like you think you could get used to it, but it's just the worst if you're a righty. What is it?
Yeah.
It's just...
You know, left-handers seem to play outside the ball. You know, it has a little more shape, a little more edge to it. Never seem to hit a ball in a straight line.
Yep.
Yeah, there's another good shot. I'm not sure. A towel used all the strings, maybe a bit of the frame, but those count.
Yeah, that's right. Leaf, check this out. Philadelphia Freedom's women doubles teams, 40 games won, only 11 losses on the season.
Yeah.
They win 79% of their women's doubles games. That's ridiculous. Ooh, that's her volley, too.
You know, I've watched a lot of World Team Tennis seasons, and those numbers are almost extraordinary. I mean, incomprehensible.
That means you're winning sets 5-1 almost on the regular. The next best team are the Lasers, 30 games won and 22 losses. That's 58%.
Yeah. And that's a very strong season.
Yeah, seriously. Freedom's winning 79%.
Yeah, nice start for the Freedoms. You know, they just keep coming at you. They've got talent all the way up and down the lineup. Towel alongside Townsend. This is a quality team. There's a reason why they were in the championship match last year and came within a game of raising the King Trophy. The Lasers just getting over the line in the final set of men's singles. Yeah, Bouchard doing a nice job getting that first serve in. She won the Auckland doubles title this year. Klepacz, the veteran in that pairing, and I'm sure Klepacz has a lot of sway with what's the best play on a night like tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is Jeannie's. She's played World Team Tennis before, but this is her season debut, and I believe she's only playing one match. So we talk about the different rules, the different format. The pace of play can really sneak up on you. She looks relaxed. You know, we're only a game in, but you know, that's something to keep your eye on. It's not easy coming out here for your first time. Ooh, right at her.
Yeah, and that's where the first serve helps, because that triggers your partner at the net.
Yeah, and you'll see Jeanie, when they go to that I formation, Jeanie is serving and staying back. It doesn't mean she can't volley, but she is probably more comfortable staying back and just ripping from the baseline, and we'll see that a lot in singles. She hits a clean ball.
Yeah, that was a good game, and a lot of first serves.
Yeah, that's key, first serve percentage. Like you said, in doubles, take a little off it. What you don't want to do, you don't want to be missing over half of your first serve, because then the returner gets in such a good rhythm, feels like they can step up and just rip the return.
Jeanie first played back in 2009 for the Kansas City Explorers. She had a year with the Texas Wild and a season for the New York Empire back in 2017. So she likes World Team Tennis.
These names, the Kansas City, what was it?
Explorers.
Explorers.
Yeah, they won a King Trophy.
What are they exploring?
Ooh, she had the volley. Well, you get chances like that in an abbreviated format. You want to knock that volley down.
Yeah, I'd say the strength of Jeannie's game on the doubles court is her return, as you see her taking some air swings, trying to avoid another whiff like last time, but you're going to see she's got a great return.
Yeah, and I'm sure Jeanie has pretty good memories of Newport Beach. She got to the quarterfinals of the ITF event just down the road here, so she played some good tennis here in this area this season.
Mine. Oh, great lob.
Yeah, Bouchard, over 2 million Instagram followers.
Are you one of them, Leaf? Or are you
Not
probably not
Instagram.
on Instagram?
I think I follow her on Twitter, where she has 1.75 million followers. So one of the
a-
most popular tennis players in the world.
That's a profession in itself with those followers. I think I have 20.
I'm gonna stop following you, because then you'd only have 19. All right, great volley, and again, there's that return volley combination.
Yeah, you get that return low to the feet. Seems kind of obvious to say, but if the return's low, you're kind of forced to hit up on the volley. If you're hitting up, then you got a volley above the shoulders. Easy put away. Nice little combo right there.
Excellent body serve, and that activates Townsend at the net.
Townsend means business. You know, a lot of people talk about maybe she's an underachiever on tour, and just because she was the #1 junior in the world, this is years ago, and she hasn't quite lived up to that, but she is a beast at World Team Tennis. She does not lose often.
Yeah, and she talks about how players progress at their own levels. You know, she's on her own journey, and she's continuing to make strides in this game.
Yeah, I like that because she's only 23, you know? #1 junior in the world in 2012. She won the Aussie Open in 2012. This is the juniors, of course. Won 3 out of the 4 junior Grand Slam doubles. In fact, she won the Wimbledon junior doubles with Jeanie Bouchard right here.
Yeah.
And they're gonna go at it in singles later. That's pretty cool. Obviously, Jeanie, a great junior in herself.
There's a lot of history between those two. It'll be fun to see how it unfolds on this court.
We have not seen one break of serve in the entire match. Ooh.
Yeah, this time Bouchard gets the volleys going. Nice work.
Great tennis so far.
I mean, you have to feel like all Canadians are walking pretty tall these days with what the Toronto Raptors did.
That's right.
Kind of a national team. And Bouchard is quite friendly with Drake, who is probably the biggest fan of the Raptors.
Look at you talking Instagram, talking Drake. Leaf.
Hey, I'm dialed in, man.
Your kid, your son's teaching you about that. Can you name one Drake song?
No.
just give me a guess. Like give me a guess of one Drake title.
I can't. That would be unfair to Drake. Oh, that's nice work.
Great shot.
Really from both teams, right?
Yeah.
Tried to squeeze off the net, did the Freedoms. Klepacz found a little space up the line.
I love seeing Italo and Townsend. They take the return and come forward. It's
old school.
Yeah, I love that. So confident at net. Great feel. This will be a big upset if the Breakers can win this, like we said. Best women's doubles team in the league right now. The Freedoms, that is.
All right, 4 games in the books in the women's doubles, 2 games all. The Breakers 7-6 up in the match score.
Uomo Sport.
You got this. You got this. You got this. You got this.
Take home their first King Trophy. The Castles get it done. San Diego Aviators have won it. There it is. Orange County Breakers are the World Team Tennis Champion. What an amazing effort by an amazing team.
Where every point counts.
Back at Breakers Stadium here at the Palisades Tennis Club. I'm Leaf alongside Jeff Chisever. Great night of tennis so far.
Leaf, you said my last name twice so far, and it's been flawless pronunciation.
Not
Props
an easy.
for that.
I got to go with just Chiz, I think.
Hands, good hands.
We're obviously here in Newport Beach, California, this Breakers Stadium. If you're in the Philadelphia area, the Hagen Arena at St. Joseph's University is where the Freedoms play their home matches.
That's indoor tennis, much different.
Lets are in play, and Jeanie made a nice return.
That's right.
She can't explain it, how she did it.
Yeah, I think she returns better when there's a let. That's right, we play let serves. We want to reduce the amount of stoppages. Let's go, let's get on with it. That's what I love about this rule. Give me more lets so I can talk more about it, please. The bender. Oh, leave it. She's there.
Ooh, nearly tracked it down. Boy, the Freedoms were stretching the Breakers out all over the court.
When will we get our first break of serve?
That's right. The opening set was a 9-point tiebreak. 2 games all, 30-15.
And I'm not complaining. I'll see more tiebreakers. Free tennis, baby. Drops in. Semi-shank on that return. She'll take it. Those are sometimes the best returns in doubles, the ones that come off the racket so strangely. When you're at net, you kind of just want to lay off it because you don't know what's on it. Next thing you know, it drops in.
Strong tennis.
That first volley. You know, I was reading up on Taylor Townsend, and I saw a quote that she likes to model her game after Martina Navratilova. Chill out, everybody. I'm not saying she's Martina Navratilova, but she likes her game, and you can kind of see it. She's comfortable serving and volleying. She likes to angle the balls off.
And the left-handed flair.
Definitely. You can tell. Well,
boy.
That's called the announcer jinx.
Yeah, well,
talking about her volleys, and she just frames one. But
well, Bouchard ripped that return. That was pretty impressive. I mean, Bouchard hasn't missed a ball yet. She's been very sharp. And so it's Jeanie who's going to take it, the Canadian, hoping to make it happen here. We might have our first break of the night.
That's right. Well, we get it. Deciding point, because it's not mixed. You can choose who wants to take it. Jeanie will take it.
Ooh, a double fault. And there is the first break. Well, I wouldn't have called that. But Townsend is broken. And now it's up to Bouchard to try and underline the break. She'll serve at 3-2.
And like they say, they got the break of serve, but it's never a break until what, Leaf?
Until the cows come home? No, until you hold your serve in the next game.
Well done. I think the term I was looking for was consolidate the break.
Consolidate the break. Now, someone told me that using that term, which a lot of tennis cognoscenti use, you can only use it the very next game after. You can't use it 2 games later.
I see. Okay.
You say underline the break or
That's
something.
good. I'm learning from the best. I'm writing that one down.
Whoever they are, that's what they say. Oh, boy. Double faults can be contagious. So a little conference then. Klepacz and Bouchard. Very clever.
Townsend looking for the, I don't know if she was going to jump over the net and take her out or what. I like that, though. I like that. I don't want to hear that was Bush League. I don't care. Run up, stomp your feet, whatever. Do whatever you want. Get that point. They didn't get it.
Yeah, that's Bouchard at her best.
That's right. We got a little mini preview of the singles match right there, a little exchange with Townsend and Bouchard. And like I said, she serves and stays back. She's much more comfortable back there. She likes the time. Here we go, another look at that forehand. Here it comes. Atawo looking to get involved. Too good. Great shot by Jeanie.
As a player, when the ball comes to you and it lands that far in front of you, you've got time, right, to see the bounce and make a decision. I can change directions here. If it comes at you, it's very deep. You might not be able to hit that shot. It's that instantaneous decision you need to make. What can I do with this ball coming to me? It's
a lot of options.
Yeah, you got to calculate what's going to be the best one.
I mean, this is huge. I'm going to pull out the stat again. They are 40-11, Atawo and Townsend. That is their game win-loss record, 41-11. Sorry, 40-11. And right here, they're down 2-4. Jeanie in a groove on the return. Let's see what she does here. Another look at a second serve.
Yeah, this is love 30.
Now, we talk about cumulative game scoring. You might be thinking, if you're the Breakers, oh, I'm up a break. If they hold here 4-3, I still can serve it out at 5-3. But no, every game counts. And that at the same time, if you're the Freedoms, you're thinking, get a hold here. Every game, it's so cliche, but it doesn't matter about winning sets. You can win the majority of the sets and still lose the match.
Yeah.
We got a Geico timeout here. Definitely a good spot. This is one of those situations where, you know, Craig Carden is calling the timeout to kind of stop the bleeding. 2-4, love 30. He's saying, he's kind of sensing the same thing. That's all right. Get a couple points here, and he'll take a hold right here.
Yeah. And that timeout gives you a chance to catch your breath, you know, put things in perspective, and go out and win.
Is that what you'd tell them in their timeout? That would be your
Yeah,
advice?
again,
Go
little
out and
things. First serve.
A couple of geniuses up
first
here.
Ball. Yeah, well, you paid the big money for being geniuses. That's not us, though, is it? Whoa, and hit an ace on your second serve.
I mean, whatever Carden said, that
how
got the
clutch
ace
was
right
that?
there. Another look at that out wide serve. Looks like it skid off the line a little bit.
Boy, that's confidence.
Just
Quick
like that.
hands.
Just like that, they're at 30 all. They're back in this.
Yeah,
Great
and
serve
that's
up the
where,
tee.
you know, say, well, coaching is important, or is it important? I mean, this is an example of a good coach having a positive impact on
Definitely.
things for his team.
That is the typical Townsend volley. She loves to get on the outside of it. Really massage it on the outside, cut off the angle. She stomps down when she does it too. 3 points in a row, 40-30.
Boy, that's a good strike. Bouchard has been flawless tonight.
I'm almost thinking Atao's so used to your first volley, go deep with it, you know, and kind of close. Here's another look. Maybe you want to take that first volley short and make Jeanie come up. She's comfortable hitting back there. That's a great shot right there. She was on her heels, so it was a great volley, but maybe you want to hit it short, force her to come forward, kind of get out of her comfort zone. And, of course, she is taking the deciding point because she is in a groove on the return. Maybe you want to get it to her backhand this time. She just hit a great forehand. Oof, they were going for it.
Well, she got the volley she wanted, but just couldn't control it. Jeanie Bouchard making a lot of good returns.
Yeah. Another look at that. Atao was there too. Sometimes it's just a pressure, you know, she makes that volley in her sleep, but hey, deciding point 2-4 changes everything.
So the set goes to the Breakers, and as you can see, they've taken the two opening sets. 10-6, they lead.
I want it.
I can't believe it.
That car brought his karaoke machine.
Nothing but a heartache.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
Tell me why I never wanted to say.
Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin. No.
Uomo Sport.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots
and close shaves.
Of wins for the history books.
And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
How do you rock the world of tennis? Burn the rule book. Change the game. Make it faster. No, way faster. Pair up the sexes. Call in the coaches. Fist bump this badass. Playing teams. And don't forget the pros. Lots of pros. This is the Freedoms. This is WTT, July 2019.
Welcome back, everyone, to World Team Tennis here in Newport Beach, California. The Freedoms visiting the Breakers. Only one other match this evening. The New York Empire are taking on the Vegas Rollers. That happens a little bit later in Sin City, but we are in beautiful, sunny Southern California. Got a great match tonight. I'm Leaf alongside Jeff. Glad you could be with us. Adrian Manarino, a very talented Frenchman. He will feature in the men's singles against local hero Stevie Johnson. He's from Orange, California, which is just down the road from Newport Beach. Beautiful part of this area.
Yep, hometown kid. We saw him last night. It was so tough seeing him lose that match. It was 3-all in the final set and just gave up a kind of a sloppy break. Ended up kind of costing his team the match. It was tough to see. But here he is this time playing in the third set, not the fifth set like last night. But what's kind of cool about this, they're playing against each other, World Team Tennis. I'm talking about Manarino and Johnson. They have played 5 times on the ATP Tour. Stevie leads that 4-1. In fact, he has beaten them the last 4 times they've played. The last time Manarino beat him was 2014 Australian Open first round. So that's big. I mean, Stevie obviously is going to feel confident with who he's facing on the other side of the net, even though he's a great player.
Yeah, unless Manarino has a good memory. 5 years ago, I beat this guy.
That's a great point. That's right. You can always say that. Hey, I beat this guy.
Yeah, and Manarino is an early flat striker of the ball.
Yeah.
Very unique and a fun player to watch.
Compact strokes, very flat, like you said. He is fun to watch. What would you say, we were talking about these courts, medium to medium fast. How would you say the court favors one or the other player in this setting?
Yeah, I think both these guys. I mean, Johnson is a bigger, better server, better volleyer. Yeah, and can Stevie integrate that kind of play into his game? And if Manarino is playing like that, he's keeping Stevie off his front foot.
Yeah, another thing
Could be trouble.
We talk about Stevie's kick serve so good. Typically, it's kind of natural to go out wide to your opponent's backhand, but this time, if he's kicking it out wide, it's going to his opponent's forehand, so a little bit different, not as effective.
Oh,
man.
Manarino out of the blocks.
Wow.
Brilliantly. I mean, Johnson really didn't do much wrong in that game.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's quick strike tennis. And yeah, that's the nature of oftentimes the French players. When they get it going on their day, they're very strong stylists, you know?
Yeah.
And when they hit their shots, they can be tough to beat. We see that there.
And are you saying when they're not on their game that?
Yeah, I think sometimes if they're not on their game, they're not battlers like Americans or Aussies. You know, they're sort of a different take on the game. Johnson gesturing, yeah, I got a point.
That's right. I mean, the good news is Mannarino doesn't have a huge serve, so getting down an early break, it's not easy because the set's only to 5. But hey, just the first game. This guy's not going to serve you off the court. You're still good, Stevie. Mannarino career high 22 in the world in singles. That's legit right there. Only one career title, though, and it came this year in Sertogenbosch. That's on the grass. Really enjoys the grass because, like we said, he hits that flat ball that likes to stay low. That is probably his best surface.
(30-15). Yeah, what was interesting about that title in Hertogenbosch, he was 0-6 in finals going into that.
That must have felt good, huh?
Yeah, I mean, so to get that breakthrough, that has to be just a huge step for him as a player.
Look at that overhead, wearing the air Mannarinos.
Pretty good hops.
The air Mannarino. What am I saying?
Boy, yeah, I feel like we're watching a chess match out here.
That right there is kind of the book on Stevie, and Stevie's kind of playing a little rope-a-dope with that slice. He's saying, "Hey, I'll slice. It's hard to hurt me on that." But eventually, Stevie really itching to get that forehand. He just got caught a little too out wide. Look at that. He's got to cover so much court, and Mannarino just bunts it cross court, and then gets the net. Easy put away volley. Great play by the Frenchman.
Yeah, so the Freedoms get consecutive games. You can see how that cuts into the match score now. It was 10-6.
Yep.
Now 10-8.
Yep.
Every game counts tonight.
Geico timeout.
Yeah, as it does in every World Team Tennis match. Geico timeout. So what kind of conversation would you be having if you were Rick Leach right there?
You know, maybe talking about, the Hyatt, what they're offering for dinner tonight.
Now, if you lose, you're buying the beer, so you better win.
Yeah. I think he's telling them standard, hey, no worries, you're down a quick break. I think he's probably telling them, though, a little bit with that slice, maybe trying to get a little deeper, maybe try to get to net with that slice because Mannarino just looked really confident with that forehand to backhand exchange. So maybe switch the pattern up a little bit, maybe take a couple slices down the line into the Mannarino's backhand and then force him to go cross court into your forehand.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages of going down the line. You'll have the next ball on your forehand, you hope. Oh, what a reply.
Wow, he's feeling good. If you're wondering what that skull on his shirt is, that would be the sponsor clothes he wears. It's called Hydrogen. Would you ever wear a tennis shirt with a skull on it, Leaf?
I don't know. It's definitely a unique styling to tennis, right?
I don't know.
Unless Keith Richards were in the crowd, I suppose I'd,
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh. I mean, Mannarino can play this level of tennis. I mean, he gets in the zone, he is really rough.
So here's a great example of, if you're the breakers, get another look here. Hey, I don't blame him trying to force his way into the net. Sometimes it's tough to approach going cross court. I mean, that's just a great shot. What can you do? But hey, Stevie's not feeling good, but he can look at the total score and say, hey, my team's still up 10-8, right? There's some positives here. Stevie. Hey, this is a way to get the crowd behind you. Get a hold here, and the crowd will probably erupt for him. What can you do? Hey, when your opponent's playing that well, just stick with it.
Oh, Manarino was looking to, I got to talk to somebody.
There's no one to talk to. That's an
Hawkeye Live.
automated voice. I made a joke yesterday that they should have different recordings of these automated voices. I should say, yeah, automated calls.
Stevie Johnson, you can't make them all tonight.
Yeah, big serve.
And you might notice we also have a 25-second shot clock. You've got to get the point underway out here.
Yep, no Rafa Nadals, no picking your wedgie for 30 seconds. You got to get on that line. You got to serve. Sorry, Rafa, I love you. Deciding point. Not that Rafa cares or knows anything about me, but he does take way too long before his serve. And that's another great thing about World Team Tennis. Let's pick up the pace, right? All right, deciding point. The receiver decides where he wants it. Manarino in that ad.
That is a huge game for Stevie Johnson and the Aviators. Excuse me, the Breakers, I should say.
That's that other SoCal team. Another look at that.
Yeah, he puts a lot of heavy spin on that one.
So heavy, so thick. One of the better forehands in the game. I feel okay saying that.
And you know him well. You played him in college a bit.
That's right. I said last night, I did get a win against Stevie in doubles. We played many times. We will not talk about any of the other results. Only care about one.
Care about that one win. All right, here's Manarino.
Leaf, thank you for that.
31 years of age.
Really?
He's a rookie in World Team Tennis. And you can see the difference between the forehand and the backhand.
Mm-hmm. Once he rips one forehand, then he's kind of in control and he can really sit in that backhand corner and hit only forehands. So that return was huge, took control immediately. Another second serve. It's interesting to see what Stevie does here. In that last serve, right as the toss goes up, he's scooting back a little bit to make sure he gets a forehand. See what he does here. Oh, he's going up.
Johnson with the volley winner.
Wow. Great volley right there. Take a look at this. It's a tough volley. Kind of gets up in the air and cuts it. That is smooth. That is a buttery Chardonnay on the volley. Leaf, have you ever heard a broadcasting partner refer to a volley as buttery Chardonnay? Is that one of the dumber things you've ever heard?
No, though. I thought it was. It's going to become a classic. I'm not a wine drinker, so I don't know. Are there buttery Chardonnays?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, played the waiting game and found the shot he wanted and is able to change directions beautifully.
It's such a cool contrast of styles. Manarino hits such a flat ball. Stevie's always got spin on it, whether it's top spin on the forehand or obviously the underspin on the slice. It's fun to watch.
Oh. Johnson.
Here we go.
Break points.
3 break chances. The fans are sensing it, that it is break time. Stevie would love to get a look at a second serve here so we can make sure he hits a forehand. Yeah.
Not the easiest ball, too. He had to get that up and down, and he did it well.
Are you hearing Manarino's grunt? He gives it the aya. What are we, in karate class here? This is nice, though. This is not easy to hit. The ball's below the net.
And
really
it's
need
spinning
to
like a
accelerate.
top.
Yeah. Yeah, that is not easy. Yeah, but he gave it the old aya. Listen, he says aya.
Ay, ay, ay. Ace right down the tee.
All right, Stevie is going to decide the deuce court. Take another look at this serve. Look at that. That's his right foot. He steps into it the right, then the left. You don't see that a lot. One that comes to mind is Jamie Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie Murray's got a little of that.
Yeah, that means you got to start a little further back to avoid the foot fault. Deciding point here. That's big, baby. Look at G. Look at his. Look at the bench. That was huge. And just like that, the Breakers are back up 4 games.
Stevie Johnson getting the crowd on their feet here in Newport.
Almost sport.
You got this. You got this. You got this. You got this.
Take home their first King Trophy. The Castles get it done. San Diego Aviators have won it. There it is, orange. All right, back in Newport, Stevie Johnson at work on his serve. He's just broken back. He's got a bit of momentum. He's got 30 love.
Since that Geico timeout, Stevie 2 games in a row. I love Stevie's service motion. So smooth. Uses his legs a lot.
Yeah, some excellent production there. 29 years of age, his 5th season. We mentioned he's from just down the road in Orange. Beautiful spot. Well, he's got a home now in Redondo Beach. Wife Kimberly.
Family man now. Possibly the best college tennis player ever. And that is not an exaggeration.
Yeah, he's a USC tennis legend.
Yes.
Add his name to the list of greats from over the years. Stan Smith, Bob Lutz.
Rick Leach.
Rick Leach, yeah.
Rick Leach, the coach, the Breakers, of course. Oof. No buttery shard that time.
No, that was $2 Chuck.
That's good. That's really good. So you are a wine drinker.
I know a little.
That's what Leaf knows. Leaf knows $2 Chuck.
I know a thing or two.
So you are a wine guy. Wow, how the momentum has turned. Normally in a match like this, if you're Manarino, you're saying, you know what, I'm still on serve, it's 2-3. But the key number there is the cumulative scoring. It's 13-8. He's down 5. That seems very daunting when you take a look at that.
$15-30, and Johnson riding this wave of momentum. It's a powerful force in sport. Manarino's starting to feel the pressure, not as comfortable as he was in the opening games.
Stevie with the chance to break this match wide open, not just his set, but the entire match. 15-30, get the point here, and you got yourself 3 break points.
Yeah, good tennis. Combination of patience and then position that allowed him to finish.
I'd like to, some of those, when he hits that forehand to Stevie's backhand, I feel like he could probably follow some of those to the net because that backhand is just floating up there.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not his game, but, I mean, when they're floating up like that, you got to take advantage. We got ourselves another Geico timeout right here.
This is probably something new for Manarino. I know he plays Davis Cup. You know, you sit on the changes and talk to your captain, but here the captain comes out and visits you right in the middle of the game.
It's different, and tennis players are really sensitive. You know, that's why you think when you watch the tournaments on TV and you see one player in the stands walking around and the guy can't even serve because he needs the umpire to tell him to sit down. The point is the littlest things that are different in the atmosphere kind of can just change your feeling out there. And like you said, Geico timeout, or forget the Geico part, but you don't see timeouts like that in the middle of the game. So just a little different. Like we said, it's his first year in World Team Tennis. He was looking great at the start, but now he finds himself in a hole. Stevie wants another look at that forehand.
Oh, nice play by Manarino. He gets the game and gets to 3 games all. World Team Tennis is brought to you by the USTA, the United States Tennis Association. Music provided by Free Play Music, the best music library on the planet. All right, so some tense moments, and Manarino did a nice job there to get through there because Johnson was applying the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, when you're down 5 games, you lose that when you're down 6. It feels a lot more daunting now. He gets it back to 4. Looks a little more manageable when you look at that score. Nice shot. That's got to feel good. Little Pete Sampras running forehand. God, look at that spin. Yeah, so much action on that. Can't do anything about that.
Yeah, Stevie Johnson in for the volley.
That's kind of what we were talking about, Manarino. When you sense that your opponent is on the run like that, look, gets him on the run, follow that in. You're going to get an easy volley here. Look at that. Floats up a little bit, and you know he's comfortable making that volley. Very nice. Shout out to the crew rolling in these beautiful replays, giving us a chance to sound smart. Nice. That's what we call the 1-2 punch. Big serve, big forehand. Yeah. This is when you're kind of feeling it. You don't really need to jump here. You kind of want to give it a little bit of flair. Ba-boom. Oh, my gosh. That is sick right there. Sorry, I yelled that a little too loud. I heard the volume a little overmodulated there. Wow, that was nice.
Heck of an approach, but a better pass by Johnson, who's starting to find his game.
That is Roger Federer-esque. I mean, the ball is bouncing inches from the baseline, and to still keep your head down and accelerate through it like that and still get that spin, that is nasty.
So Manarino serving now for the Freedoms, trying to get to a tiebreak in the men's singles, third event of the evening. Great crowd on hand tonight. It's vocal, it's loud, they're plugged in.
Yeah. That guy must be a Stevie fan, Trojan shirt. Gosh. I mean, to think about what we were seeing in the first game when Manarino was on fire, and it was looking like it could get ugly. Gosh, but he just always accelerates through the forehand.
Yeah, suddenly the match seems to be played at Johnson speed right now.
Definitely.
Oh, cut it too thin. That's love 30.
You can just tell that is not his comfort zone up there. And a little afraid of the speed of Stevie, because Stevie was ready to get on his horse and get that. But sometimes that happens. You're playing against an athlete like Stevie. He's about to run this down. Look, he's about to go. Try to get a little too cute with it.
You know, I think someone more natural or comfortable than that would have moved forward and taken that on the fly before it dipped down on the bounce. Love 30. So set points for the Breakers and Stevie Johnson.
All right, Breakers fans, what time is it? That's right.
I love this MC. That's all right, 3 more chances. And this is the side that Stevie prefers to return from.
Yeah, when he won the bronze medal at the Olympics with Jack Sock, did he play forehand court?
Yes.
I think he did.
And Sock was just ripping forehands
Yeah.
on that backhand side, which is where he likes to be as well.
That's a lot of forehand power in a doubles team.
That's frightening if you're up at the net going against those. So watch Stevie here. This is why he likes to return in the deuce court. Right when the toss goes up, Stevie's going to move to his left and ensure that he hits a forehand. Here he goes, and he's got himself a forehand. That's the play, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sounding like I'm getting mad at him, but
no, but that is
coming
the play.
in net on the backhand. It's really hard to pass someone with a slice like that.
Yeah.
Making it seem like I could go out there and do it or something, but hey, that's why it's easier to see it from up here.
Yeah, but I think that's the nature of the modern game. The guys don't have enough reps coming into the net, so they don't feel comfortable attacking the net. That's better, and a nice setup with that wide serve. Here's a deciding point.
Wow. And you know Stevie's going to want it from the deuce side for the same reason we said before. I mean, this is huge. This could be either 6-game difference, 15-9, or 14-10 with Manarino given a chance to make it 14-11. So it's almost like, you know, could be either 6 or 3 just based on this 1 point. Geico timeout. I think what's important here on this first serve, because like we said, if he gets into a second serve, you've already ensured that Stevie's going to get his forehand on the return. Maybe you take a little bit off the first serve, slices up the tee, and make sure that Stevie hits a backhand on this first serve. Then you get in the pattern you want, forehand to backhand, and go from there. So first serve, very crucial right here. You got to think that he's slicing it tee to the Stevie backhand.
Johnson takes the set.
Gotta feel good for him after that disappointing loss last night.
Yeah, that has to feel good. I know for Breakers fans it does. The Freedoms, though, down 6 now, 15-9.
I want it.
I can't believe it.
That car brought his karaoke machine.
Nothing but a heartache.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
Tell me why I never wanted to say.
Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin. No.
Uomo Sport.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna be a pro tennis player.
I thought you were going to get things done today.
I did. I had a consultation with my doctor this morning, and I set up a meeting with my lawyer about my Wimbledon application.
How could you afford a lawyer?
It's included with my phone. My Rocket IO Pro 3D comes with legal services, 24/7 doctor, glasses-free 3D, and it's less than $300.
You're saving some money. Now you can start paying rent.
Wait, what?
Get the Rocket IO Pro 3D for less than $300. Rocket Smarter Phones.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots
And close shaves.
of wins for the history books. And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile
Say good game.
and put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
How do you rock the world of tennis? Burn the rule book. Change the game. Make it faster. No, way faster. Pair up the sexes. Calling the coaches. Fist bump this badass. Playing teams. And don't forget the pros. Lots of pros. This is the Breakers. This is WTT, July 2019.
Back in Newport Beach at the Palisades Tennis Club. Visit the all-new WTT.com for live and on-demand matches, highlights, news, stats, behind-the-scenes videos, and complete coverage of World Team Tennis 2019. We've got Flutter Frog in the house. And let's just revisit the standings and just to show you how important this match is for the OC Breakers and, of course, for the Freedoms who are trying to ride this top spot in the 2019 season.
Yeah. I mean, you got to figure the Freedoms and the Lasers probably going to get those top 2 spots. So essentially, you got 6 teams fighting for 2 more spots. In the past, Leaf, there were only 6 teams in the league, and the final 2 would play in the finals. But this time, you're fighting for 4 spots. The top 4 teams will make it to Vegas and play kind of, they get into the semifinals. And from there, best team wins. It's not really, seeding doesn't really matter. You just want to get in that top 4.
Yeah, we're literally halfway through the season. And the Breakers have only played 5 matches. Remember, they had 1 rain out in Washington, so there's another match that they still have to play. In fact, they might have to double up and play 2 matches on a single day just to catch up on the schedule, so they still have a lot of play in them. You can see the Aviators at 4-4 right above them have 8 matches. So potentially it could be 5-3 the Breakers if they win out. So still some wiggle room, obviously, in the middle of the standings.
Yeah, and a lot of these West Coast teams, the Aviators and the Breakers, at the first part of the season, they were on the road a lot, and they were playing some indoor tennis. Now they kind of got a home stand, so you really, you hear it in all sports, but you want to protect your home court. And, you got a couple games at home here. They lost that one last night. That's why we kept saying tonight is so crucial. That just 2-4, 3-3 is such a big difference. You're 3-3, you're at 500. From there, you feel like you can really gain some ground. So I'm really, if I'm the coach of the Breakers, really happy with the response tonight after the loss last night because it was such a heartbreaker. Yeah,
it's funny how disappointment or frustration can, motivate you in a positive way. And I think Leach has turned that somehow to a positive. I think the players, too, they really responded beautifully tonight. Everyone's playing well.
Yeah, and definitely.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead, Leach.
Sorry, so up next is the women's singles, and we feature the marquee player for the Breakers, Jeanie Bouchard, 25 years of age. Her 4th season. Remember, we mentioned that she started out with the Kansas City Explorers back in '09, so she's got plenty of experience in this format. Played a lot of her tennis in Montreal at the Tennis Canada training facility they have now in Montreal, but does a fair amount now in Miami Beach, Florida.
Yeah, I mean, we're in 2019 now. She's only 25 years old. In 2014,
that was her year, right?
Oh, my gosh. She made the finals of Wimbledon, and she was a semifinalist at the Australian Open and the French Open. She got to a career-high 5 in October of that year. So it has been a steady decline since then. But, I mean, just to know that at one point in your career you had that form, you got to think there's still a great run for her to have and find that best tennis.
Yeah, you feel like it's still ahead of her. It seems like she's got a good team around her and going in the right direction. The fact that she likes to play team tennis, I think, shows that she likes the competition. She likes the pressure. She wants to be a great player. Again, I think she wants to get back to where she was. Taylor Townsend, well, you feel like the sky's the limit still for Taylor, just 23 years of age. Her 6th season. And after a brilliant year last year, she continues to produce in World Team Tennis.
Yeah, I mean, we said it 13-0 last season. That's kind of ridiculous. I mean, unless your name's Roger, Novak, or Rafa, you don't typically win 13 matches in a row, especially with a short format like that where the sets are only to 5. She means business here. She's got a lot of shots in the bag, loopy strokes. She varies up the spin. And as we take a look at the court right now, we talked about this too in the past, kind of a interesting way where you warm up in World Team Tennis, where you're literally sharing the court with your opponent. There, Jeanie playing there. Those are the two that are playing each other, but they're warming up with their own teammates. Typically in tennis, you see them warming up, against each other. So just another different about World Team Tennis.
Yeah, that's one of the unique sort of facets of World Team Tennis. It's all about the team, and your team gets you ready. I always am a little surprised when I do watch the WTA when the gals and the women do warm up. They actually take practice returns. They return the serve.
Right.
On the men's tour, that does not happen.
What's funny about that, too, is that let's say I'm practicing my serve, and I see that you want to get in some returns. I'm thinking there's two things. You're like, gosh, I want to practice my serve. At the same time, I don't want to give you a good look at the return. So maybe I just hit a couple long. Maybe I hit him in the net, and that could kind of frustrate the opponent.
I go to the other side. I mean, if my opponent is going to return my serve, I'm like,
I should just do underhand serve.
I'm going the other way. Yeah, I'm going to do the underhand. Yeah, Jeanie Bouchard, we mentioned, started off the year pretty well, lost to Julia Gerges in the quarterfinals in Auckland, though won the doubles there.
Yeah, we talked about struggling, but, let's say this. 2018, that was the 6th straight season in the top 100. I know she wants to be higher, but that's an accomplishment in itself. I mean, it's very easy once you lose confidence in the sport to kind of the losses really come, and next thing you know, you slip down there, but she's still in the top 100. That means you're making main draws of some quality tournaments, and that means the opportunity is there always to kind of get big points and just make a deep run, and that could change your year. Next thing you know, she's back in the top 20s, top 30s, then you're seeded at Grand Slams, and who knows?
And to be completely fair, she did have that incident at the U.S. Open where she slipped and fell in the locker room and had a concussion and was really out of the game for a fair amount of time because of that incident. And there was much made of that, but the bottom line is she wasn't playing competitive tennis at that time in her career. So, and she was in every event. She was in singles, doubles, and mixed when that fall happened at the U.S. Open. So that was a difficult setback, I think.
Yeah, tennis is one of those sports where you said she was injured. If you lose your rhythm in tennis and you're not getting out in there and hitting, your game really gets away from you. Let's take a sport like let's say basketball. Let's say you tear your ACL, you're out for a year. You come back, your shooting touch is still there. You'll get your conditioning back. With tennis, there's so much rhythm, and you need to hit balls constantly every day. When you're junior at the academy, you're just hitting thousands of balls a day. If you're not doing that,
that's right. And everyone else around you on the tour is building their game, building their confidence. So you have to go up against that too.
Such a rhythm sport for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, we're looking forward to Jeanie Bouchard. Glad you could be with us here in Newport Beach. I'm Leaf alongside Jeff, and we're making the turn into the second half of the season. Important times for all these teams. The Breakers still have a very good chance of making the playoffs, but you feel they've got to get wins, and tonight is an important one.
I hate to say it, but they can't lose this one. I mean, I know they were up 5 last night in the 4th set.
Yeah, that hurts.
Actually, we're looking at the same thing right now, huh?
Yeah.
We're coming up on the 4th set. I can't get my eye on the scoreboard right now, and I am calling the match, so I should probably know the score. But they got a legit lead here.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't give this up. You got Jeanie coming in. She's feeling relaxed. She's feeling comfortable, and she's playing Taylor Townsend, someone she knows very well, but they've never actually played each other on the WTA Tour, so it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, the Breakers were up 15-10 on the Springfield Lasers. And that was in the second to last event of the night, so they were close to the finish line.
That's right.
All right, here's Taylor Townsend.
Getting a look at that lefty serve, causing fits for so many people.
Ooh, let's get it off the line.
That's a good start right there. And you're going to see Taylor Townsend mix in a few serve and volley. You don't see that a lot in the WTA Tour, but she will come in behind that serve. She's very comfortable at the net.
Yeah, couldn't quite catch up to that one. Interesting contrast how Taylor plays with a lot of shape, a lot of topspin. Bouchard is a little more early and flat on the ball.
Yeah, more simplistic, see ball, hit ball, wants to take it early. Townsend's playing it more like a chess match, varying up the spins, like you said. And there's something simplistic and great about the way Jeanie plays, that when I said see ball, hit ball. It's not much thinking. It forces you to be aggressive with your feet, and you just want to take the ball early, and that's kind of all you're thinking, and it's nice to really only have one thought process when you're playing, and that's, I don't want to say I know what she's thinking out there, but I do like her style.
Yeah, nice forehand with angle and cross court. Looked like Jeanie was caught spinning her wheels in the middle of the court.
There it is, taking it early. You see that? Townsend with the loopy forehand, like we said. But Jeanie, first of all, she's 5'10", so it's not going to get that high up on her. But she wants to take time away from her opponent, come up, take it early. Almost like we saw that backhand return sheets in double. She likes to take it early, pull it cross court. Got a break point early here. There she was, looking to serve and volley. Probably not going to do that on her second serve.
Yeah, and Bouchard, her aggression paid off on that last ball.
If I'm Rick Leach, I am just saying every point, every game. He saw this last night, up 5 games in the 4th set, and they lost. Do not take your foot off the gas pedal. This is the #1 team in the league you're playing. You want to put them out of their misery, keep going, increase that lead. Especially after that loss last night. You want to go home tonight feeling really good about yourself as we make the push towards the second half of the World Team Tennis season.
Well, someone told me it's not a break until you hold your serve in the next game. Was it you?
That guy must be it. Yeah.
I think it was you.
I like that guy.
That might have been the second set tonight. So Bouchard down love 15. Now love 30.
I like this matchup for Jeanie the more I think about it, because Taylor loves that loopy shot into the backhand corner, and I really think that's one of Jeanie's best shots, taking the backhand early. She does not mind hitting it above her shoulder. Really like that.
Yeah, Taylor can't quite catch up to that pass.
Good defense here. That ball might have looked like it was going to float long.
Yes, got around that, made some space for the forehand.
Taylor has been an automatic, I want to say point for her team. It's not a point, but just an automatic win. She's only lost twice this year, like we said, 13-0 last season singles. Only lost twice. In fact, her second loss came last night against Coco Vandeweghe down at the La Costa Resort in San Diego. So you know she does not want to lose 2 in a row. Takes a lot of pride out here when she plays World Team Tennis. 2 more looks at the break. Here's a look at the Jeanie serve. She's very strong and athletic. Hits with great kind of like effort. I don't want to say effortless power.
Yeah, it didn't happen there.
Interesting to see where she'll take this one, considering she just kind of shanked that return, but she will remain in the ad court. If I'm Jeanie, I'm thinking, hey, let's go at that backhand again.
Yeah, Bouchard unable to maintain her balance in that corner. So Townsend breaks right back.
Good response.
Yeah, big moment for the Freedoms, wasn't it? Just to stay even.
Yeah, you got to think it's 16-10. We'll explain the extended play later, but you got to think if the Freedoms can win this set and kind of just that score bug a little off right there, they'll get that fixed. But you got to think if she can just crack in this lead a little bit heading into men's doubles and maybe the Freedoms can find themselves maybe just down 2, 3, or 4, then they are feeling good about themselves. So
16-10 for the Breakers.
Yeah, like, what do you think? Like, what would seem like a manageable deficit if you're the Freedoms going into men's doubles?
Yes, 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 games. Men's doubles is usually close.
That's a
Lots
great
of
point.
service holds.
There's the serve and volley.
Yeah, Bouchard really has some wonderful returns.
Ooh, that's not easy. This is not easy. I might have let this bounce, but goes in and takes on a fly. Nice overhead. Snap of the wrist.
Oh, yes.
That's good.
That's some better play there. Yeah, Taylor's back training with Donald Young's father in Atlanta. Of course, Donald Young has had a number of years playing team tennis as well.
Yep. In fact, we saw him sub in for the Philadelphia Freedoms earlier this year. Just like that. It's up 2-1.
Yeah. And Townsend was down break points. Was she down 15-40 in her service game? I know she was down.
Yeah. There we go, another look at that.
3 break points, able to get that game. Then she holds her serve with that good serve right in the corner.
Talk about that lefty serve. It's just, there's so much junk on it. It's just messy, and it's just so different. It's hard to, you got to find lefties to practice against to even get legitimate looks of that.
Yeah, good move by Bouchard to come forward.
Taylor Townsend, check this out, played her first professional match at age 14. Leaf, what were you doing at 14? Were you playing professional matches? I know I wasn't.
Trying to
I never
tie
played
my
a professional match.
shoelaces, I think, yeah.
Did you figure it out eventually?
No, I use Velcro now. Yeah, it is amazing how players can be so talented and so sort of accomplished at a young age. And then we sort of expect them to deal with all the challenges they have to face. It's can be a lot for a young person to handle.
Yeah, like we said, #1 junior in the world. You got to figure if you're #1 junior in the world, I feel like there's a lot of expectations to live up to. And it's such a delicate thing, too. It's almost like with baseball, and you bring them up too early to the pros, or you keep them in the minors. And it's the same thing you hear a lot in tennis now. Hey, do they go to college? Do they go to pro at early years? We take another look here. Jeanie likes to take that back in early, like we said. Great shot.
Yeah, that was part of the discussion with Coco Gauff's run at Wimbledon. You know, age eligibility, sort of the age minimum requirement for players. And at 15, she can only play a certain number of events.
Right.
You know, and I think that's actually a pretty good rule. You know, what is the rush to have someone that young?
In fact, a great option for Coco Gauff would be World Team Tennis, because that does not count as one of those limited events. She's not playing World Team Tennis, but Coco, if you hear me, maybe next year. I'd love to watch you.
Yeah, that's some good play. Bouchard, she was up a break early, but now we're back on serve at 2 games all, and the Breakers have a 17-11 lead in the match score. The Canadian getting it done in the States here in Newport.
Geico has over 75 years of savings and service.
Whoa.
Travis and IT made it.
It's amazing.
Oh, is that Travis's app? It's pretty cool, isn't it?
There's 2 of them. They're multiplying.
Geico has over
No,
75
guys, it's me.
savings and
See?
service.
No, I'm real. I'm real.
He thinks he's real.
Geico. Over 75 years of savings and service.
Almost sport.
How do you rock the world of tennis? Burn the rule book. Change the game. Make it faster. No, way faster. Pair up the sexes. Call in the coaches. Fist bump this badass. Playing teams. And don't forget the pros. Lots of pros. This is the Freedoms. This is WTT, July 2019.
Summer is heating up, and so is WTT, World Team Tennis. Be sure to visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at World Team Tennis. We've got exclusive content, highlights, behind-the-scenes videos, all the coverage you want of World Team Tennis 2019. Here's Taylor Townsend. 2 games all, 4th set of the night.
Yep, that's the pattern we talked about. She feels super comfortable. I'm talking about Jeanie, just sitting there and taking backhand. She doesn't feel like she needs to run around, almost like Stevie Johnson would. He wants to run around and hit that forehand. No, she's perfectly happy sitting there and taking those backhands early. Great pattern for her. I feel like I've used the word pattern a lot. Maybe I should chill on that.
Well, players have their patterns, right?
You got any other words for me for pattern? I should just go to synonyms.com right now. That's we do that, by the way.
Yeah, that's an early error in the rally. Townsend has to be careful. Last year, first year inside the top 100 for Taylor. at year's end. And then this year, second round at Wimbledon, she won the Charleston Challenger, the ITF event there, beat Coco Gauff and Whitney Osigwe.
2 big wins. 2 of the better American youngsters. A lot of promise for both of them. Crowd cheering for a great catch in the stands by the man in the white polo there. Oh, look at that, tossing it to the kid. Got to give the ball to the kid.
Boy, double fault. Taylor tried to squeeze that second serve into a very small space. She wanted to avoid the Bouchard backhand, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Break point.
3 of them. Let's go, Jeanie. Yeah, put your hand up. You deserve it. That's her shot. Got to get a little deeper if you're going to come in on the Bouchard backhand.
Yeah, I thought it was a good approach, but it wasn't a great approach.
Yes.
And I think Bouchard's backhand has been pretty great tonight.
She's feeling it. You know, in the juniors, the term they would use when your opponent was playing so well, they'd say you're treeing. Have you ever heard that term?
Sure.
Oh, you know
sure,
that. Did you use that? Was that a legit term?
Yeah,
back
totally
when?
legit. Totally
was
legit.
It? Treeing.
And there was also a term we used when you came in on a ball you shouldn't come in, and it was called a bluff. And you got to come in on good shots against good players.
That might have been a bluff right there.
Oh, that's better.
That's nice.
Ask Roger Federer if he knows what a bluff is. Match point on Novak Djokovic. That forehand cross court, I know it was a good shot, but against Novak, it has to be a great shot.
You knew it was going to be a pass. Of course, we're talking about one of Roger Federer's 2 championship points just a few weeks ago, the finals of Wimbledon. I cringed thinking about it. I was definitely pulling for Roger, as I think the rest of the world was. Great call.
Lets her in play.
Yep, lets her in play. As they should be. The rest of tennis, catch up with the rule. If you want to hear my argument about it, well, I don't know where you're going to find me. Call me. Hit me up. I'd love to talk about it. I just feel so strongly about that.
Let's say this. I bet you in 5 years, they're going to have Hawkeye Live at a lot of these pro events, and they're going to have Let's in Play.
It makes too much sense. Speed up the game. I can already feel myself getting annoyed about it. I might have to go off after this point.
Oh, no. Where was she going with that?
Every other sports league in the world is trying to speed up the pace of play.
Yeah.
They want to shorten the duration, and they want to reduce the amount of stoppages. Major League Baseball, they're taking away some mound visits. In our very own sport of tennis, they got the serve clock. Speed it up, less stoppages. That's number one. You cannot refute my argument that playing lets will shorten the match and reduce the amount of stoppages.
And add a little bit of unpredictability
for sure
to the game, a little bit of drama.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, here's my question to you, Leaf. Whether it's the men's or women's open down the street, or it's the Wimbledon finals in July, during the rally, when the ball hits the net, whether it goes in the air, whether it trickles over, what do you hear from the crowd?
Ooh, ah.
The ooh and ah, exactly. Listen to me, whoever makes these rules. Ooh and ah are sounds that literally define excitement. The paying customers of your sport, the viewing audience, is telling you, I am being excited when the point is altered in a spontaneous and possibly fluky manner.
Yeah.
And for all the people that are like, oh, the lets, it's so fluky, you might get an unlucky bounce, give me a break. You allow it during the rally. So who cares you rally it during the point? Don't tell me that if you allowed lets in the last 20 years that Rafa wouldn't have 12 French Opens. The top 100 rankings would look exactly the same. It wouldn't change the history of tennis. It's okay. They like the excitement, and it speeds up the game. It's a no-brainer. I'm not done, Leaf. And the only reason why I feel okay talking about it is because the Breakers are up 7 right now.
But Bouchard down 15-40.
Good call.
Yeah, and there is the break back for Townsend. So this is going to be one of those matches where we've had 4 breaks in the 6 games played.
Okay, back on the lets for a second.
But here's, you know what? I'm pretty sure that Billie Jean King had that conversation when she was thinking about how do I get the most out of a match? And how do I make it more interesting?
And better for the fans.
Yeah.
It's all about the fans. No, you know the electronic machine that calls lets? They get it wrong all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see John Isner hit an ace, the beep goes off, and he's like, I just cleared it by 2 feet. That would eliminate that. That's another argument for it. Great swinging volley by Townsend. Another thing is this. Growing up in the juniors, Leaf, because you call your own lets, you'll see kids get aced, and I'm not agreeing with this because this is what's wrong. You'll see kids get aced and they call a let because you call your own. It's a way of cheating. You get rid of that too.
And that's why they did that in the juniors and in college tennis.
Yeah.
It's a good serve, and Taylor Townsend is coming on here.
Yeah. Maybe, is this let talk jinxing the breakers? Should I just shut up with the lets? Because I still have a few more thoughts. But
let it be.
That's really good. That's really good. So stupid.
Yeah, it's a good body serve.
Okay, NBA playoffs. The most kind of iconic play of this year's playoffs, Kawhi Leonard hit a buzzer-beating shot in Game 7. It bounced off the rim 4 or 5 times and went in.
Yeah.
You know what? Everyone's not saying, oh, it's fluky, it's lucky, it sucked. No, everyone loved it. It was bouncing, it was rolling around. It was so exciting. It was a weird bounce. You love it.
Hanging on the rim.
Yeah, just live
Does it
with
go in? Does it go out?
Just embrace it. Just embrace it. Now, if it was a let court ace on match point, yeah, maybe that's a little annoying. Shot. 2-shot pass right there. Get the first one, low to the net person, and then get ready to unload on the next one. Another look at that. Just get the return down low. Don't need to get too much direction on it. And then feast. There we go.
Yeah, Taylor's trying to get through this game. She was comfortable at 40 love. Maybe not so comfortable now at 40-30.
That's a tough serve right there. Crowd sensing a little lull in play, but you got to give credit to Townsend. Takes the lead 4-3.
Yeah,
First of all, we didn't even mention about, sorry about that, the lets that it's so hypocritical. What? When they serve and hit the net and goes in, oh, it's a redo. But during the point, it's okay? I mean, what, the serve's a sacred shot. Ooh, it starts the rally. It can't hit the net and go in, but it can any other shot, forehand, backhand, overhead. I mean, it's the elephant in the room. It's a hypocritical part of the rule.
Jeff, let it be. No, I agree. I think it is time that the rules get updated a bit. But do you remember when they tried to integrate the tiebreak into the game? I think it was the early 70s, and the players were up in arms. No tie breaks. Tie breaks will ruin the game. It'll take away the integrity of the. You have to break serve to win. I mean, the game is slow to evolve.
Yeah, no, you're right. And that's kind of the issue is like, no, you're right. And guess what? They adjusted. Now everyone loves it. Same thing with serve clock. Some of the players are like, oh, the serve clock, I want to think about it. It's tennis. It's a, it's a very cerebral game. No, everyone's adjusted and everyone likes it, especially when you're playing someone like Rafa. It takes forever before his serve. Just out. It's a nice response from Jeanie here. A lot of first serves in. Get the lead back up to 6. 19-13, get one of these next 4 points.
All right, time for a 9-point tiebreak.
Yes, second one of the day. That's right, 9-point tiebreaker. Deciding point at 4-all. You know, Rick Leach, he looks a little like Mike D'Antoni. You know the NBA coach?
Yep,
You
sure.
see that a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit of that, for sure.
Mike D'Antoni. I love lookalikes.
I think Rick Leach is a better volleyer, but still the similarity is there. And you can see, looks like part of the message there is, you know, let's just keep her loose, make sure that she's feeling good about things. You sort of get the import of the message. So just, and also for Jeanie, you know, clarifying 9-point tiebreak, 2, 2, 2, and then 3. What's the sequence of points?
You'd be surprised, because these new rules, how many of these players come out, especially, I mean, she's played it before, but you see these players come out and they sometimes, because it's different rules, they don't really know exactly. Sometimes they need to be told. That's probably not the case, but.
Yeah, well, players like to be in control out there. They like to control everything, you know, the balls, the rhythm, their game. Did not miss by much. And again, close, but no cigar for Bouchard on the return. So a little bit of pressure on her, down love 2, but she does have 2 serves to come.
And the team's up 6. You got to feel like she kind of already did her part. You never want to lose the set of who you're playing against, but just, you know, leaning back on the whole team format here, she got the 4 games. The most she's going to lose by is 1. So that's the most that the Freedoms are going to cut into that lead, just by 1 game. So she already kind of did her part. Of course she wants to win, though. That short ball, you know, she's a baseliner, feels really comfortable going side to side. Sometimes you don't, those baseliners don't want to come forward and kind of bend down. She's got that tall frame, 5'10", kind of just an awkward ball for her to hit. Finds herself in a hole, down 3-0. Needs this one.
Yeah, here's another Geico timeout. And this one might be useful.
Yes.
Coach Leach is just trying to stem the momentum a little bit.
Last thing on the lets, I promise.
Yes.
Here is my best analogy of how silly the let rule is. You ready for this? Let's pretend we're at the Super Bowl. Rams are down 2, and they need a field goal to win it, okay? Down 2, last play of the Super Bowl, okay? Here we go. I'm going to be the play-by-play, okay? The snap is in play. The hold is down. The kick is up. It's got plenty of distance. Here it comes. It hits the post and goes in. Let's redo it, everybody. The ball can't hit the post and go in. It's got to hit it pure.
Like
the
that
serve
one.
can't hit the net and go in.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's so silly. Everyone loves it when it hits the post.
It's good.
Oof.
Ooh, she had a swing at the pass.
Everyone says, oh, it hits the net, it's a fluky bounce. Hey, newsflash, in soccer, when you hit the post, it might be a fluky bounce. In hockey, when you hit the post, ooh, it might go out, it might go in.
It could go in.
Duh, hello. If you want to avoid the fluky bounce, guess what you do? You hit it higher above the net. It's not a big deal. Gosh, I'm sweating now. I'm a little worked up. I think I got it all in my system.
Okay.
Although, here's the problem with the viewers.
You need to go in front of the the tennis Supreme Court. And
Please take me there.
Plead your case.
I'm doing a couple more matches this year, and if you are listening, you might hear it one more time. But Leaf, all the viewers, I thank you for giving me that time to voice my frustration with the let rules. And I hope you agree with me, because when I say it and I hear myself, it makes too much sense.
Yeah, no,
I'm done.
I used to be the other way around, a little more of a traditionalist,
nice.
but now I'm leaning towards let's get those lets in play.
Nice.
One less delay in play.
All right.
All right, here's 3-1 for
Feel good.
Townsend. She's got a couple serves, so she could win it if she gets both her points.
Oh,
what a pass.
Nice shot. It's almost like Jeanie knew she was going there, too. You know, she loves that dipping, shaping topspin ball. Still couldn't get there. 4 set points. 1 more on her serve. Will she serve and volley here? Here she goes.
Oh, she had the volley she wanted, really.
And she's smiling because she doesn't miss those. All right, now it's kind of interesting. Now it's 4-2. Still has 3 match points, but the 3 remaining points will all be on Jeanie's serve. You know, if this was John Isner down 2-4, who would you have your money on? I have to go with Big John.
Yeah, I think there was some numbers bandied about these big servers, you know, Karlovic and Raonic and Isner holding serve from low 40 down, and they do it more than 50% of the time.
It's almost like they tend to bring out their best serves when they're down, too. That's amazing.
Saves another.
And just like that, we are 1 point away from a deciding point for the set.
Oh, it was too short from Townsend, and Bouchard made her pay.
Yep, we keep talking about it. Likes to take the backhand early. She likes to hit it close to her body. She uses a lot of her hands and wrists, kind of. Really nice.
So a deciding point to decide the women's singles. Philly could use a game. They're down 6.
Quite a time for a Geico timeout, by the way. Clearly.
And the Breakers, if they get the point, they'd go up 7, and that's a fairly sizable difference going into the final event of the evening.
Definitely. Obviously, this Geico timeout was called by the Freedoms. Up 4-1. She's lost 3 in a row. Wants to stop the bleeding. Focus in and get this. But the point will be on Jeanie Bouchard's racket. Ball boy was zoning out a little bit.
A double fault. Jeanie can't believe it.
She's smiling a bit.
All right, well, there it is. Ending rather ignominiously, but 5-4, the Freedoms take it. We're coming down to the final event of the evening, the men's doubles.
Uomo Sport.
Breakers take home their first King Trophy. The Castles get it done. San Diego Aviators have won it. There it is. Orange County Breakers are the World Team Tennis Champion. What an amazing effort by an amazing team.
I won it.
I can't believe it.
That car brought his karaoke machine.
Nothing but a heartache.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
Tell me why I never wanted you say.
Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin. No.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna be a pro tennis player.
I thought you were going to get things done today.
I did. I had a consultation with my doctor this morning, and I set up a meeting with my lawyer about my Wimbledon application.
How could you afford a lawyer?
It's included with my phone. My Rocket IO Pro 3D comes with legal services, 24/7 doctor, glasses-free 3D, and it's less than $300.
You saving some money. Now you can start paying rent.
Wait, what?
Get the Rocket IO Pro 3D for less than $300. Rocket Smarter Phones.
Now the Breakers and the Freedoms have a good one going. Here's a look at Taylor Townsend, her return hit positions, first serve and second. So she's very aggressive-minded on the second. And here's Bouchard on both first and second.
Yeah, wow.
Different philosophies.
Yeah, and definitely, like we said, Townsend's got one of the better. You don't see many of those kick serves on the WTA Tour that get up so high, knowing it gets up so high. Like we said, Jeanie would rather come in, take it early. Don't let that ball eat you up and get above your shoulders. And we saw a lot of great backhands. Unfortunately, it didn't end the way she wanted to. But, you know, that's what's great about team tennis is, like, the fact that Jeanie just doubled on set point for her own match, but then she can look at the scoreboard and say, hey, my team's at 5. She can go home tonight. I mean, she won her first set, but you know, normally you wouldn't feel too good about yourself after losing that match right there. But she can go. Let's just say the Breakers win this match. She can go home tonight feeling good that she contributed to a win and her team got the win. I mean, that's a good feeling.
Those 4 games were instrumental in pushing the score in their favor to this point. So the guys will come out now and shut it down. They're closers tonight, the men's doubles for the Breakers. They've got to get it done. Stevie Johnson was the closer last night, and it didn't happen.
Yeah. That's what we call a blown save in baseball. But you were talking about it earlier about holding serve. Like, why would men's doubles be a great event to go into when you already have the lead?
Well, you have a higher chance of holding onto your serve, for one, and it's going to be close. So you're going to definitely keep it close.
Yes.
Even if it goes into overtime, you're going to hopefully get, you know, into extended play and hold your serve.
Exactly.
Right?
You got to think that holding serve percentage is higher in doubles versus singles. I don't have a stat on that. You're going to have to just kind of trust me on that. But
James Ward is playing for the Breakers tonight. Ward's played some wonderful tennis for them.
Yeah, this is our first look at Ward tonight.
He played against the Aviators here in their home opener. Yeah, Reese Martin just kept going right at Johnson. He's got a great backhand.
James Ward, more known for his singles, but he's got a smooth game and a great serve. You saw right there, serving and staying back. Just like we were talking about Jeanie earlier, he would kind of rather stay back in the baseline and rip groundies. First season World Team Tennis for James Ward. And the Ayahs are back because Manarito and his skull shirt are on the court.
And he's got that smooth game, doesn't he? Just racket back, nice and flat on the ball. It's very simple how he produces his game.
Yeah.
And very effective.
Great for doubles returns for sure. That time it looked like he was serving and volleying. See what he does here. I'm going to say he serves and stays back. And what do I know? And maybe that's, he didn't get too far, but Reese Martin taking it really early. Saw that. It's basically, James Ward didn't even get to the service line when he had to hit that volley. Great return by the Frenchman.
Yeah, Martin, Roland Garros doubles finalist this year. That is a result. As well as winning a couple of titles this year in Estoril and Marseille. So he's Playing some of the best tennis of any doubles player in the world.
Nice.
And you know Stevie Johnson from his years at USC, his Davis Cup play, and on the ATP. He's plays a lot of great doubles.
Yeah.
And in the Olympics, too. Won a bronze medal in the Olympics in men's doubles.
College tennis, he played doubles and singles, so came on tour already very comfortable on the doubles court.
Ooh, that was a little loose.
And, you know, he's the only player on the court, James Ward we're talking about, that hasn't played tonight. So that's tough, especially when it's the 5th match of the night. You come in and you don't get a great warm-up. It's really only 3 to 5 minutes. You're hitting down the line, only got half the court. So it's tough for him to come in kind of cold, and he's serving the first game.
What a shot. On break point, a clean winning return up the line. Manarino timed that beautifully.
Just like that, Freedoms are down 4 as we take another look at the serve. God.
And that's out to the lefty forehand.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, if you go down the middle, you don't give away that angle up the line. But
yeah.
What can you say? Manarino had a great return. Here's Reese Martin.
I mean, yeah, a hold here, and now it's 19-16. Obviously, no reason to panic, but just made things a little interesting with that break off the bat. And you know what I can't help but think, because Ward is coming in cold, do you think if they lose a couple more games, let's say maybe they go down 3-0, that maybe Leach looks into sub in Bambridge?
Yeah, it's a very real possibility. Yeah, the chip forehand's not going to work from there. That's 40 love, and you can see the Freedoms building momentum.
Yeah.
And energy, excitement, and he wants to step up the line and keep this train rolling. Whoa.
Yeah, that was sick. Didn't count though. Oh! No hand up too. No apology. I didn't see it. Yeah, he's smiling. All good.
That was a rocket of a forehand. I think Ward was still feeling sore about having lost his server.
Yeah, that was kind of one of those down 40 love. I'm pissed. I'm just going to rip it. Tried it again. Good eye by Martin. Get out of the way. That one sails long.
So 19-16.
That's all right. You just say to yourself, hey, get this game. Extend the lead back to 4. Next point. Very cliche, but.
You surprised at all that Stevie Johnson didn't serve first?
Yeah, a little bit, because Stevie has such a great serve anyway. I wonder what the thought process there. As you said, Stevie's got a great serve like this. Good knee bend. Explodes up.
Yeah, gets that energy out of his legs, up into the toss. I think ball kid is, I think it was either a turned ankle possibly, or is she feeling a little overheated? Conditions pretty warm here today in Newport Beach. And
yeah.
That she's okay.
Didn't get to take a look at it.
Yeah, you can see Rick Leach. He feels terrible about it.
Never want to see that, especially the celebratory night like this when it's World Team Tennis. Everyone's out having fun.
Yeah, I think the young woman may have just gotten a little overheated. So we'll just, it's always something a little more important than tennis. So our priority obviously is making sure that she's okay. So they're just going to pause this play and make sure that she's okay moving forward. And obviously, they'd like to probably get her out of that position there. You can see the setting here at the Palisades Club. Really beautiful. They've got a different court this year. You might see that the multicolored court that's been such an integral part of World Team Tennis over the years is no longer there, but new ownership, 2 new teams this year, a new CEO in Carlos Silva. And you can see World Team Tennis is trying to take it in a new direction to the next place it needs to go.
Yeah.
And that might mean adding, well, we've got 2 new teams this year, maybe a couple more new teams moving forward.
That's right.
So pretty exciting times for
Yeah,
World Team
I
Tennis.
think one of those teams possibly could be in Los Angeles. Used to be a team in Los Angeles. I think, Leaf, you actually played for a team in Los Angeles.
I did. Yeah, I played. Jeanie Bouchard was the owner of the Los Angeles Strings back in the day, so we had a wonderful season playing for Jeanie and playing at the Forum, the LA Forum. But I think there's been discussion also. LA is a possibility. Chicago is also a possibility. I mean, that's where Billie Jean hails from originally. Taylor Townsend is from Chicago, although she is now in Atlanta. There's Alan Hardison, the general manager of the Orange County Breakers. He's done a great job putting this all together, has Alan.
Yeah, that's always tricky too, because when you think about it, you're taking players away from their professional ATP or WTA calendar, and you got to get them to agree to 3-week traveling seasons. Sometimes it's just a night here or there, but
yeah.
It's unlike any other league where you're trying to put together a team. You know, usually you're putting, the GM of, basketball, hockey, football, whatever it is. They're all only worried about that one league. But this is just 3 weeks out of a 52-week calendar.
Yeah, it's almost like a 3-week tournament, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you got to travel a lot and play in different cities. Although they're trying to make it the same surface, a DecoTurf surface, it might change slightly the speed, location to location. The conditions are a little different, so you're making adjustments all the time. But here the Breakers just having a word as we continue to attend to this young person who's had an injury. She's, of course, I believe it is the ball kid.
Yeah, wish we had more information for you, but we don't. But you see a lot of concerned faces around there. Teams are just huddling up. Probably going to need another warm-up before they continue. That's just my guess. I'm not sure.
One thing you won't hear tonight is the Philadelphia Freedom song, that famous song by Elton John, which was written by Elton John and Bernie Taupin in '74 for Billie Jean King. It was kind of a gesture to her with the Philadelphia Freedoms, which was one of the original franchises of World Team Tennis back then.
I got to admit, I listen to Elton John's music a lot, and I never knew that. I never put those together, but I did learn that a couple months ago as I was studying up on the league. And
Billie Jean King and Elton are fast friends over the years, and obviously all the charitable and sociological efforts they do to make this world a better place. But you won't be hearing that song here in Orange County.
Yeah, that's true. We were talking about the court earlier, how it used to be that weird colored court. Here's a look of a time lapse of the transformation of the court here. I love these when they do these, and I think we're gonna see a time lapse, but
this might just be the layering of the court, and this is how they put the surface down on the court. This is DecoTurf. Obviously, the color is instrumental because it allows for the ball to be tracked easily by the players and also for us viewers on TV to see the ball. And this is what the final product looks like. So build a nice base, put those colors down.
That's crazy.
What it looks like.
I mean, because you want that look throughout the whole league. They're doing that for all 8 teams at their home venues. This color of the court, I will say, as we kind of are at the back end of July, moving into August towards the last Grand Slam of the year, of course, Flushing Meadows and U.S. Open, this court reminds you a little more of what the U.S. Open court is going to look like. And I know it's just the look of the court, but if you're a player that's gearing up for the hard court season, there's something to be said for that comfort where you're playing on a court that similarly looks like and feels like the U.S. Open.
I think the feedback from the players, I think feedback from the players has been very positive about the court. They, they feel it looks professional, and I think, and maybe just eyeballing it, it is closer to the journey the players are making in this North American hardcourt season now. So perhaps a nice, another stepping stone to the U.S. Open.
And of course, the league is called World Team Tennis. There are 19 countries represented between all these 8 teams. And we talked about maybe a team in LA, maybe a team in Chicago, but there's also talks about teams overseas. And then you would truly be World Team Tennis if you had a...
We know one place they could go? Well, Canada. I mean, they love their tennis in Canada. They've got a couple Masters Series events there. And perhaps even Mexico, so a place that they really enjoy their tennis as well. Plus, they've got plenty of great players. But I mean, Carlos Silva, the new CEO, chairman, alongside the owners Fred Luddy and Eric Davidson, who owns the Orange County franchise. These guys want to make it bigger and better. They want to have the best players playing it, and these are all steps along the way that are going to only make this league better.
Definitely, team tennis. I mean, I just love it. You can feel it. There's just there's a comfort and fun about it. We talk about the pace of play and something different. And there's a couple things. I think in one way, the league is kind of, it's got that feeling where, it's a little over halfway the season. It's almost like a glorified all-star break. But I don't want to call it an all-star break because then you think of it's like an exhibition and they don't take it seriously. And you do see a lot of smiling and they're having fun. But it's still competitive and intense. I mean, there's standings on the line. There's money on the line. Obviously, you can get bonuses. You go to the playoffs if you win it and all that stuff. So it's a great combo of that, is that it has that exhibition feel halfway through where it's kind of fun. It's a different atmosphere, different rules. But at the same time,
I think one reason why we're seeing players smiling and trying to have fun is because the pressure is so great. It's like anytime you go out to practice, you put a $5 bill on it, suddenly that practice becomes a little more intense. There's money in this, there's prestige, there's trophies at the end of it, like anything in tennis. And I think all players want to be a part of that.
We were having a conversation with Jimmy Arias the other day, and Jimmy said, I mean, he's like a former top 10,
world
deep
number
run.
5.
That's right. And he said, this is no joke, and he wasn't kidding. And Jimmy, he's always serious, whatever he says. He said the most nervous he ever got on a match was when he played a World Team Tennis match. And you might be thinking to yourself, you wouldn't believe it because of some of the stages he played at, but there's just something about the different format. Sometimes you have the music playing between points. You think that'll just loosen you up, and some people might like it, but sometimes then it's in your head and you can't really focus, and it's just you get off your game. The points come at you fast. You're down 2-love, 3-love. You're only playing to 5, and it's just so different, and it's interesting to hear a player
for someone
like
so accomplished,
say
who's played Davis Cup in some of the far-flung reaches of the world and some pretty hostile environments where the pressure was on him. To say that World Team Tennis was the most pressurized place to play. Now we're just getting some members of the emergency medical crew. The ambulance is here, so we're going to step aside, take a short break as we attend to this young person who was injured on this moment just occurring at the net there. So we'll step aside for a moment. We'll come right back to Newport Beach.
I wanted.
I can't believe it.
That car brought his karaoke machine.
Nothing but a heartache.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
Tell me why I never wanted you to say.
Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin. No.
Almost sport.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots
and close shaves.
Of wins for the history books. And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness
is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
You got this. You got this. You got this. You got this.
Take home their first King Trophy. The Castles get it done. San Diego Aviators have won it. There it is. Orange County Breakers are the World Team Tennis Champions. What an amazing effort by an amazing team. Back in beautiful Newport Beach, California. This is Breakers Stadium, Orange County, California, obviously. And the Palisades Tennis Club, which was formerly the John Wayne Club. The Duke used to live around here and played his tennis here. In fact, they now have John Wayne Gulch, which is just an area beyond the courts where they have a number of trees and a gully. They've named it in his honor. Obviously, he's been in a few, you know, sort of Western environs with all his movies as a cowboy. A great tennis fan and a fan of tennis. I'm Leaf alongside Jeff. We're just waiting for the medical team here, which arrived by ambulance to address the concerns about this young person who was injured, a ball kid who was at the net posts, and I think she had a fall, and we're not exactly sure what happened, but they're making sure that she's okay, so we're getting ready for that. The crowd's been really patient as well. Obviously, they want to see the conclusion of this, but they understand that things need to be addressed. Stevie Johnson, well, he was a part of the men's singles, and he had a 5-3 win over Adrian Manarino, one of the more entertaining sets. Manarino off with a break of serve early, and Stevie Johnson came charging back. That was a key moment for Johnson and for the Breakers. They needed a win tonight. They need it. Especially after the loss last night. For those of you that didn't see, his team had the lead going into the 5th set. 3-all. He had a sloppy game. He lost 5-3, and his team lost. The OC Breakers lost by 1 game. And we're just going to show you the standings again, just to sort of emphasize how important this match is for the Orange County Breakers. Remember, 4 teams qualify for the championship weekend in Vegas, where they'll play for the King Trophy semifinals down to the championship game. So the Breakers are sort of right on that cut line, but you can see they've only played 5 matches, so they're behind. Remember, they have 1 rain-delayed match that wasn't completed against DC, which is going to have to be made up if it's going to be a factor in whether they qualify. So the Freedoms up on top at 7-1. They want to keep their winning ways going. They've won 7 in a row, Jeff. Yeah, wow. You know, most of the time when I like to look at the standings, I like to look at the loss column. And if you look at that, the Breakers was only 3 losses, and that's what the Empire have, and they're in 3rd place. So you get a win here. You're feeling really good about yourself. You're 3-3. And another standout part of this graphic I see, the Vegas Rollers at 2-5 because they will be hosting the playoffs. Wouldn't that be a shame if the expansion team, Las Vegas Rollers, can't participate in the playoffs when it's being hosted by their home venue? So we'll see how that plays out. Certainly, there's a week. We're only halfway through the season, so a lot of tennis to be played. That doesn't happen, does it? When an expansion team makes it all the way to the championship match, maybe only in the Stanley Cup. I see what you did there. I was about to be like, well, actually. No, wait a second. I see. Yeah, Vegas Knights. Slowly becoming kind of a nice little hotbed for sports. Like you said, you got the Golden Knights, and you're going to have the Raiders. Stadium. That's right. You have the Raiders coming. That's going to be wild. When is that stadium going to be complete? I think a couple of years. But yeah, 1 more year. They will be playing in the Bay, and then I think the plan is to move over to Vegas. Yeah, I mean, pretty exciting times. I was going to say the black hole is what they call it in one of the end zones. Those fans are crazy. Just to imagine them in the Vegas setting. That should be something. You know, you're looking at 2 of the longest-running franchises in the league. The Philadelphia Freedoms have been around for 20 years, and the Breakers around for 17. Is this young person being acknowledged by this crowd? Unfortunate. It looks like she injured her right leg or her right ankle. Hopefully she'll be okay. Let's hope that she's feeling better very soon. All right, so the players are just going to get themselves together. Now the Freedoms have a 2-love lead in the men's doubles. James Ward was broken his opening service game. Stevie Johnson is serving, and it's 15-love. And I'm just wondering whether they'll take a warm-up. We'll see whether, I think they're just going to be ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, always tough to come back from a break like that. It looks like they're going to warm up for a little bit. But what you really want to avoid here is if Stevie was to get broken, then they're only up 2, and the Freedoms would have a serve. I mean, a break and a hold, and it's 19-18. Could you imagine how the fans would feel then? Then you kind of get almost a little deja vu from last night, and you don't want to get that feeling.
No.
So
we don't want deja vu all over again.
No, we definitely don't.
No.
So crucial hold.
We were saying how the Breakers were up 15-10 on the Lasers last night, and it was halfway into the last, or the women's singles were the second to last. Men's singles was the final event. And somehow, the Lasers made up the deficit. Stevie Johnson beaten in that last set, and Nicole Gibbs losing her singles as well. Blinkova beat Gibbs 5-2. Lopez Perez beat Johnson 5-3. So that was a huge turning point in what should have been a win, really, for the Breakers, right? You got to close down those.
Yeah, could you
matches.
imagine? Then you look back at those standings, they could be 3-2. Looking for a win here, they'd be 4-2. Then you'd really be sitting pretty. Then you'd be kind of looking eye up that 2 seed, be sitting pretty in the 3 spot. But plenty of tennis to be played. I mean, it's 14-match regular season. They play 14 matches in, I think, 17 or 18 days. So it's a sprint of a season. I mean, you know, we talked about the Freedoms and how. So the way it works in World Team Tennis is you have your roster players in which you acquire via the draft. Those players typically play the whole season with the team, and then along the way, you pick up some more marquee names. Those are considered your franchise players.
Yeah,
you
or maybe like a free agent. You might think, oh, I'm going to get her or him for 2 or 3 matches, or maybe even 1 match.
Right. Now, the Freedom, the bulk of their team, 3 out of their 4 are their roster players. That's Atawo, that's Martin, and that's Townsend. And so you would think you see, you know, all these promos for World Team Tennis. Oh, check out John Isner, Sloane Stevens, Venus Williams, the Bryan brothers. You would think, oh my God, well, I just think the teams with those players are going to be great. But here's one team that doesn't have one of those sexy names, so to speak, and those big name franchise players. They're just sitting pretty with their 3 or 4 players all season long, and there's something to be said for that chemistry, that they're traveling together for these 2 weeks straight. You're getting close with each other. You're spending a lot of time, and there's something to be said for, you know, this is a sport typically played in the individual format, but here's the team format. A lot of chemistry, camaraderie involved. Obviously, the Freedoms have that going on, and, you know, they've won 7 matches in a row, and they're in first place.
Yeah, and that team is so important, isn't it? And you know, sometimes if you bring in marquee players, it can just upset the balance a little bit. Maybe you might miss out on your night of play, and maybe you just lose that rhythm of continually playing and producing. So it's a tricky balance you have to get right if you're an owner or a manager or a coach.
Definitely. And with that being said, the 4th player before Manarino came on board was a guy named Adrian Menendez, and he was going to be their roster player for the whole year. Unfortunately, he went down with an injury on the first night of the season. So Manarino is not a bad substitute to have. Former 21 in the world. So, you know, it's a shame that Menendez couldn't finish the season, but like you said, you go down a player and it's just like a free agent frenzy. It's unlike any other sport, and you kind of just look to grab who you can get. And, you know, great work by the general managers around the league. And, of course, the general manager of the league, Matt Elephant, close Cal buddy of mine, did a great job kind of facilitating that communication, and I think was a big part of kind of getting in Reese Martin's ear about who they can bring in. And he actually reached out and said, hey, let's look at my buddy Adrian. He just lost first round in Newport. He lost to Tennis Sandgren. Next thing you know, he flies out here to California, and he's playing and winning matches for the Freedoms.
Yeah, it's an amazing sequence of events, how Manarino came to be a part of this team. And boy, what an acquisition. I mean, he's a talented player. There he is. He's a part of this last event alongside his buddy Fabrice. All right. We are ready to finish off the men's doubles and finish off the evening's play. Thank you for your patience. Glad you stayed with us. I'm Leaf alongside Jeff. And here's Steve Johnson and James Ward for the breakers, for Reese Martin and Adrian Manarino for the Freedoms.
Crucial game here.
Yeah, Johnson trying to thread the needle up the line, just pulled it wide. Ooh, that's a heavy forehand.
Now, before we had that stoppage of play due to the injury from the ball person, the last thing we saw was Martin and Manarino, like I said, compatriots, both from France, close friends. They were getting themselves pumped up, and they had all the momentum.
Oh, and Ward didn't do enough with the volley.
15-40, 2 3-break points.
Oh my.
To get it back within 2 for the Freedoms. Could really use a couple big serves here.
There's a game for the Freedoms.
And just like that, we are back down 2, and the Freedoms are serving. The good news for the breakers is it's not Martin serving. Manarino, the weaker of the two, with the serve. But then, of course, you got to deal with Martin at the net with that huge wingspan.
Exactly. Yeah, Martin at the nets with the interception. Yeah, the Frenchmen for the Freedoms have the wind at their backs. No, that's out.
You get the sense that all you need is, it's great with doubles, all you need is one kind of fun point, big put away at the net, get the crowd into it, and just get on the board here in that final set and get that lead back up to 2 or 3. Get the comfort level back. Let's see if Stevie wants to hit a forehand here. There he goes.
Oh yes, there's Ward. And that's where he can be really good, when he's got time on the ball.
And he needed that. You kind of got the sense, Ward, he had a tricky point earlier where he had the shank volley, and sometimes it just takes one shot to get that comfort level back and the confidence. That was huge for him.
Yeah, Manarino with the cutter out wide.
I feel like every lefty has that serve. It's like, if you're a lefty, you come out of the womb and you just have a great out wide serve. I wish I was a lefty.
Yep. And there's a little lesson there. When you're behind in the score, use your first serve. A couple of good first serves, and the Freedoms have a chance to go 4-love. Oh, that is a strike again from Ward.
Who do you think's taking this return, Leaf?
I think it's got to be Ward. Although, that gives the Manarino the serve out wide.
It does, but the good news is that last serve he did put out wide. Ward took care of it very nicely, getting it away from Martin at the net. I'm surprised they're not going with the I formation here, but maybe that's because you want to keep Manarino out wide so you can open up that wide serve.
A first serve down the tee, 4 straight games, and it's 19-18. Wow, what a move by the Freedoms here in the final event of the evening.
How do you rock the world of tennis? Burn the rule book. Change the game. Make it faster. No, way faster. Pair up the sexes. Call in the coaches. Fist bump this badass. Playing teams. And don't forget the pros. Lots of pros. This is the Breakers. This is WTT, July 2019.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots
and close shaves.
Of wins for the history books. And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness
is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
Almost sport.
Back at Breakers Stadium, and the Freedoms have established a strong lead in the final event, and you can see what it's done to the match score. The Breakers hanging on 19-18. Ward to serve for Orange County. Well, what eventually could happen, the Breakers hang on. If the Freedoms close it out on their serve, there would be a one-game deficit. Remember, if the losing team wins the final set, we go into extended play. The losing team would have to make up that deficit by winning consecutive games until it were tied, and then a super tiebreaker would be played. Boy, you don't get much better than that.
That's great doubles right there. And Leaf, that explanation of extended play was one of the best ones I've ever heard, because it's actually usually got to use a lot of words and it's pretty complicated. But that was it right there.
And if you are the leading team and you're in extended play like the Breakers would be, you just need to win one game.
Just one game.
So if the Breakers won the one game in extended play, it will be over. If the Freedom won one game, according to this, it might be a super tiebreak. Heavy smash from Johnson.
And the Ward and Johnson need the crowd more than ever right now. Even if it's an ace, if it's an easy put away, you need to get the crowd behind him, pump it back up. There was a little bit of lull in energy after the unfortunate circumstance of the ball person getting hurt. But we need to get pumped back up. And here's what we're trying to do with the Geico timeout here. Kids are coming out trying to get the crowd pumped.
Now here's Coach Craig Carden, longtime coach of the Freedoms. Of course, Billie Jean King's franchise.
So if the Freedoms were to break serve here, we would go straight to a super tiebreaker. That's first to 7, win by 1.
Missed that one by a long way. 30 all.
I'm kind of wondering now after double fault, if you take a little bit off that first serve, go 75%. Look at that. That's interesting.
Well, no, Jeff, you know what's interesting? If Philly breaks right here, it will be 19 games all.
Go straight to the super tiebreaker.
Straight into a super tiebreak.
Yeah.
So this is getting very good tonight.
Yeah, so last night, Stevie, they were the Breakers were up 1 going into the final set, and Stevie lost 5-3. He lost by 2, so that means the match was over because the cumulative score was was that the lasers were at 1, but here you go here where...
Jeff, is she the biggest tennis fan they have in Orange County? Trying to get this crowd going, even as she runs off the court.
I told you, that's what we need. Come on, big serve here. Let's get the crowd into it.
Oh, yes.
Just what the doctor ordered. And look at Ward. He's getting the crowd fired up. He needs that. You got to build off that.
He's a low-key Brit. To get him amped up, that says a lot about World Team Tennis. He's played some big tennis in Southern California.
And
played for the British Davis Cup team.
Yeah,
beat Sam Querrey on a clay court at Petco Park. Of course, he was a part of that British Davis Cup championship in 2015. First time they'd won it in 79 years. Oh, that's a good ball from Manarino.
Yeah. Manarino just saw out of the corner of his eye Stevie was moving, pulled that backhand. That's definitely a shot he has. My gosh, this is a huge point. Okay, looks like they're going back to Manarino.
Game point for the Breakers, set point for the Freedoms, and a point to put it into a super tiebreak.
So it's a big point.
You were right. Oh, Manarino with a brilliant strike.
Oh, wow.
And the Freedoms take the last set 5-love. So 19 games all. Time for a super tiebreak.
On one end, you could easily be saying, oh, you know, the Breakers totally choked this. They just got big on the last set. But, you know, let's tip your cap to the Freedoms because they came out with energy right away. And right now, the MC is explaining the super tiebreaker. It is called a 13-point super tiebreaker, just like the 9-pointer. This one's called 13-point, which means the maximum amount of points it could be is 7-6. First to 7, play a deciding point at 6-all.
Yeah, what makes this World Team Tennis so amazingly pressurized, every game could be decided by 1 point. Every set, the 9-point tiebreaker, could be decided by 1 point. And here we have a match potentially decided by a single moment, a single point.
And if you're wondering at home what they're doing, they're flipping the coin because they got to decide for serve or side. And it's important to note that it's whatever match was in that last set, those people stay on the court. It's not like if you're Leach or your card and you get to choose who you want to go out there.
Right.
No, it's the same format. Men's doubles stays on out there, and that's why it's so important of who you choose last, because when you choose whatever your last team is, that's who you're saying, if I go to a super breaker, that's who I'm rolling with. And right now, the Breakers are rolling with Ward and Stevie in men's doubles. First to 7, win by 1. It looks like Reese Martin is going to start it off with his serve. Wow. One of the more exciting matches of the year. Unbelievable.
Oh, Johnson can't pull the trigger. What an exchange at the net.
Great focus by the French team. 2 strange let courts. Remember we were talking about lets before? We were saying the crowd gets super excited. That one we're getting a little nervous just because where we're at in the match. My gosh, I can't believe we're at a super breaker, but that's where we are. Got to fight through it if you're the Breakers.
Ooh, that ball got in on Manarino. There's the mini break. So the Breakers off to an early good start.
And now,
just by getting one of those 2 service points.
They're talking right now who they want to serve first. We obviously don't know what they said, but they're going to go with Stevie, which is kind of interesting because when the set started, they went with Ward to start, but now they're deciding to start with Stevie. I think maybe they felt during the set they were just having their way a little better when Stevie was serving.
Martin in. Boy, he came out of nowhere. So the break advantage restored. Manarino is having a great time. I've never experienced anything like this.
Yeah.
His first year in team tennis.
Oh, what a shot! Woo! That's right, Stevie. Get the crowd into it.
Oh, you have to enjoy that.
Wow.
You don't see that shot every day. He was running away from the net and the court and hit the ball back in the opposite direction.
Like a no look. I didn't even think he was going to get there, to be honest. And to get that angle on it, wow. Shot of the day.
Maybe the season.
Yeah, seriously, if they come through with this super tiebreaker and they make the playoffs, that is a point they could look back on the season and be like, hey, that turned it around. Stevie looking to get a forehand here. I think he's going to move to his left on the toss. There he goes. Crowd really getting into it. Stevie having some flashback to his days as USC Trojans. All 4 years he went to USC, his team won the national title. See if he can lead his team to a victory here tonight.
Yeah, strong serve and a strong smash. So 6 points played. They'll change ends for the final 7 if needed. So we've had a couple of mini breaks, but we're back on serve now. Johnson with the highlight reel backhand. Any team you have a sense has the momentum? Seem like they're just dead even, aren't they? Johnson may have turned things around a little bit with that shot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously heading into the super breaker, it was the Philadelphia Freedoms, but you're right. I mean, sometimes it just takes one moment to get everyone pumped up. The backhand shot was certainly that. 3-all, they're dead even. Only one change of sides in the super breaker. James Ward to serve.
And Ward has played his part here in this breaker. He's come up with some huge forehands.
And look at the benches. That's what it's all about. I mean, that's just so, you know, it's like that, you know, in regular tennis, when you hit a good shot, you look at your box, you know, you look at your family, your friends, your coaches. Here, how cool is it to look at your bench and they're right on the court and they're going crazy. Jeanie is certainly leading the charge as the cheerleader, waving the towel around. 4-3, breakers to serve. Looks like they're going to the I formation.
Manarino stopping in mid-play as that ball was over the baseline. So he's enjoying it.
For all. The Freedoms will have 2 service points right here, and then the breakers will have the final 3 on their serve if needed. The big man off of Reese Martin with 2 points to serve for all.
Oh, such a brilliant return.
Yeah, what a return with the two-hander. You don't see that often. And then that was just, he was just feeling it and taking over, yelling me, and he lined it up, and that's the shot he wanted.
Yeah, almost like he went for a little too much.
Yeah.
Obviously, the adrenaline was coursing through his veins.
He might want that one back and thinking I should have gone at Manarino maybe, the weaker of the volleyer.
What a comeback in that exchange.
Oh my gosh. That is so doubles right there. You got an overhead, you think you have it. Great defense by Ward. Look at this again. That backhand down the line. I mean, this was the easy shot right here, but that backhand down the line, wow. So 5-all, a maximum of 3 points remaining, and they will all lie on the strings.
I mean, Martin got in a good first serve. Oh, there's a lot of good things happening. Both these teams really at the heights of their powers.
That's what's so great about it. You can feel it. It's so tense, and the anxiety behind each shot in doubles. It is so great. Here we go, 5-all. Stevie, 3 points on his serve if needed. Obviously, if he wins the next 2 points, they will win 7-5. But in case, wow.
Well, essentially, the team that wins 2 points is going to walk home the winner tonight.
Yep, and they will all be on Stevie's serve. And this is what I love, a Geico timeout. Leach coming out to talk to his guys, Craig Carden. I mean, it's a great point for a timeout, don't you think? Right after all the momentum's with the breakers, the crowd's getting into it. What a great way to kind of shut up the crowd, so to speak, or I guess get the boos is, hey, take a timeout. Let's ice Stevie a little bit. But you got to be feeling good if you're the breakers right now. You're not thinking at all how you gave up the big lead, how you lost 5-love. The point is you have a great opportunity to win it right here.
Let's in play, and Reese Martin was on it.
I feel like,
whoa, that is clutch. That is clutch.
Wow. What can you do? Sometimes you get a good bounce, sometimes you don't.
And look at the reaction.
Yeah, great reaction, that's right. I mean, it did set up nice for him, but.
Match point for the Freedom. Ooh.
I mean, Leaf. I mean, is there anything better than this? This is 1 point for the whole match. There's no such thing in any other format of tennis to see that. 1 point for the entire match. It looks like they need to be reminded of the rules, maybe.
Well, they obviously will get to decide which player will return.
And right after Manarino just missed that forehand return to the net, where are you going if you're Stevie? One big serve, that's all he needs. All comes down to this.
Johnson gets it done. The first serve.
Can you say relief? For those of you that saw the match last night, to have that big lead and to lose it, and then tonight to have a bigger lead. Look at Stevie right there, putting his, I mean, we were talking earlier that you call this an exhibition and they don't care. Does this look like those players don't care? Great sportsmanship here from all the players. I mean, you can't deny the fact of how much fun they just had right now. Look at the smile on their faces.
Yeah, that was something special.
Wow.
The super tiebreak decides it, and the breakers 7-6.
Oh, wow.
Johnson and Manarino enjoying the moment.
Wow. I mean, that match had it all. I cannot believe it. Down to 1 point.
Wow. Lots of energy here in Newport Beach. The Breakers taking it 20-19. World Team Tennis has been brought to you by Geico, saving people money for over 75 years. By Rocket, game-changing phones with glasses-free 3D. And by Forevermark, a diamond is forever. So welcome back, everyone. A brilliant evening that was back and forth. I mean, Orange County won the first 3 sets. Mixed doubles, women's doubles, and men's singles, and it looked like they were going to walk it home. But then Taylor Townsend won 5-4, and then the men's doubles in the last event, the men's doubles won it 5-love. So suddenly we were thrust into a super tiebreaker, and well, it came down to the final point, and this was a special night. You don't see many of these over the course of a season.
I cannot believe it. And right when we said, what is the best event when you have a lead? We said men's doubles because you tend to hold serve very easily. Not the case. They just lost 5 straight games, and it goes to the super tiebreaker. Then it goes to 6-all. I can't believe it. Like I said, last night, such a tough, heartbreaking loss for Stevie Johnson. For him to come through like that with that big serve, what a relief. I mean, like you said, we're always impartial bystanders, but I got it. I couldn't help but be rooting a little bit for Stevie and the Breakers just because of what happened last night, and what a huge win.
Yeah, losing a match to the Lasers, who, well, they were up 15-10, lost that one. Interesting, the Freedoms were up 6-5 in that super tiebreak, so they had 2 match points to get over the line, unable to get it done. So a big win for the Breakers, who are right in that 2-3 zone, now 3-3 in the standings, so they're in a very good place.
Let's come back and do it again tomorrow.
You got it.
Yeah.
All right, hope you enjoyed this evening of World Team Tennis. The Orange County Breakers, their next match, well, it's tomorrow night, taking on the New York Empire. So we will bring that one to you. So it came down to one final point.
Here it is, the big serve from Stevie out wide. And look at the reaction. This is what you call relief.
And the Orange County Breakers win a huge one tonight at home. So they go to 3-3 thanks to our team on site, bringing you all the sights and the sounds. I'm Leaf alongside Jeff. So long, everybody, from beautiful Southern California.